Done, sir.
Sir, you the first presenter. Presentation first. You are only. They want to put a mic.
Just keep it.
But Navita and team attend. Navita doctor is a week of exam. She will attend offline. She called me.
You send the link to Dr. Shubh doing from here?
What is better, sir?
No, presentation.
I can be here.
Here only.
Hello.
Taking video.
You want me to be there?
Is it possible?
Sir, no. Anywhere. I can be anywhere.
So you just do the recording of PPT and
Yeah.
work together.
Done, sir. Done. I
We
can.
have two institutions, one is in Dharmasthala and one is in Udupi. They both are joining through
Okay. Done, sir.
the same.
Done, sir. Done.
Initially we thought we will do with Zoom, but connectivity issues. Zoom, 45 minutes you have to read.
Correct. Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. So, sir, we have this thing.
Slide change.
Slide change, he will help you. Or
Okay. ठीक. Done, sir. Done. We had good, sir. Good. In case we required, yes. Yes. So, meanwhile, we're fixing the technicalities. We can start understanding each other. So, we will be doing functional medicine, and based on that, we'll go by organ system. So, today we'll talk about gut health and autoimmunity. No problem, sir. No problem. Anything, sir. Anything. What is available? More support to help our patients. So that will help me understand where are we and what more I can sort of from my angle try to add to your skill set. So if what kind of cases, where are we seeing good results, Where are we thinking that more can happen, or we are need to progress, or we need to add our skill set? So all of you can just give me, I can make some notes so that I can prepare myself.
We're dealing more likely with all the metabolic diseases.
Okay. So, metabolic.
Almost all. And more likely diabetes and hypertension is very common.
Diabetes, HTN,
And thyroid related is
thyroid,
highest number of and fertility cases, male and female fertility.
fertility.
cases we are getting.
Okay.
And a few autoimmune cases also we are getting.
Autoimmune,
And some cancer rehabs we are getting.
cancer, rehab,
Cancer rehabs, post surgical cases we are getting.
post surgery. Okay. Skin. Urticaria. Okay. 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 Psoriasis. Yes. What else? Chronic kidney disease. Okay. Huh? Which one? Fatty liver. Non-alcohol. Okay.
I also we are dealing with all depression and anxiety cases more.
Sorry?
Depression and anxiety cases.
Depression, anxiety. Okay, what else? Psychosomatic, what do we mean by that? What is happening with them? Anxiety, depression, stress. Fair. Musculoskeletal. What kind of
Arthritis generally.
arthritis? Insomnia, okay.
Almost all diseases.
No, fair. So this is the common, I want the common ones. Of course, there could be so many beyond
I
that.
think migraine and sinus are also like
Migraine,
more
sinus.
likely in the most of cases.
All right. So out of this, where you feel more comfortable that you are able to fix the problem and the person is good, and out of which you see you want more skill set, more tools to help you help the patient.
We always feel challenging with renal cases more.
CKD. Okay. Non-alcohol. Okay. This is challenging. Urticaria. Urticaria. Insomnia. Psoriasis. Psoriasis is good. Okay. Where are okay. Diabetes, we can reverse it as of now. Type 2 diabetes, how much time does it take for us to fix it?
Depends on values.
Huh.
If HbA1c is more than 13, it is taking little time. But if it is 6 or 5, 7, 1 or 2 months, it will be enough for you. It depends
Okay.
on other chronic and
Fair point, yeah. Thyroid, is it good?
It's doing pretty good.
Okay. Autoimmune problems?
We are able to see symptomatic changes better,
Huh.
but at the same time, we also need a proper follow-up.
6 months, 9 months, can we fix it? Or we see reduction in or antibody test, you are good. Of course, I will give what I have to give in these also, but I will prepare in the coming months for these problems. Non-alcoholic fatty liver, CKD, urticaria, and insomnia. These are some of the things you would like to add. Infertility. Or you want some more juice on infertility? Okay. Thyroid also. Fair. No. See, at the end of the day, it should add value. No. I will touch upon this, I will touch upon this. This is as per the plan. I will touch upon this. But these conditions I will also prepare for the coming sessions. But wherever the challenges where you need a skill upgrade is what I will focus more upon. And in these sessions, I will not just talk one way. I want your participation. More we discuss the problem, then we understand it better. If I say something, you don't participate, then it's no good. I want your full participation in that. Okay. So when you need a break, you tell me you need a break. If you are okay, we continue. We have 4 hours. All righty. Well, Shahzad, we start?
Yes.
We good? Everybody good? Yes. Anybody coming? You can hear me loud, clear? Okay. So first, thank you. No, good. I'm good. No problem. So we just want to give you an introduction to functional medicine. What do we mean by functional medicine? Okay. I want your understanding as of now. What you think about what is this functional medicine? So, anybody want to just give me a reference to it? What do we mean by functional medicine? Ha. Yes. So, functional medicine means a science-based approach which helps us understand the disease better. Okay. Now, if we understand what is causing urticaria, what is causing CKD, if we understand the root of the problem, then we can deploy different therapies. It can be naturopathy, it can be homeopathy, it can be Ayurveda, it can be allopathy, it can be nutraceutical science, or a blend of that, wherever the things are required. So, this will help us understand the disease better. So, our focus primarily on these conditions to understand the disease. What is the problem? Why the person is having this or that? So, once we have that understanding clear, then you know what to do about it. You don't need any doubts and guesses. So, this is what we are trying to get. Next. So, we want to understand the causes of the problem. Then you can develop a solution around it. If you understand what is the reason behind the IBS, CKD, urticaria, you understand what is the trigger of it, then you can develop a solution. Then solutioning, don't worry about what you have to do your own thing or you want to add new things. We can add new things or you can do your own thing, doesn't matter, as long as you understand the cause. So, a comprehensive model going beyond conventional things, and it's an integrated model. We understand the science of the problem, then we integrate the solution. So, solutioning can come from all the pathies, wherever necessary. We don't have to worry about, I am being a naturopath or allopath, I have to only do this or that. I just need to understand the problem better and then I can put a right solution. Is that making sense? All on the same page? Yes. Okay. Now, every time, at least in the allopath world, we are told every disease, you name it, they call it a genetic problem. So, how many of you think that chronic problems has a genetic component to it? Or diabetes is a genetic problem, hypertension is a genetic problem, fertility, infertility is because of the poor genetics, cancer is because of genetics. How many of you think chronic problems are primarily caused by genetics? You think it's genetic is the reason?
See, if the gene is not expressed in our body, then we won't get the things. So genes are already present from my father to me. So if my lifestyle is good, then I won't get the disease. So in that way, genetics are some of the.
So there's something called genetics, then environment, then called phenotype, which is the expression of the gene, outcome of the gene. Now, if you look at the prevalence of the problem, diabetes increasing, prevalence increasing. Is there any evidence to prove that human genome have changed in last 30, 40 years? Have our genes gone bad in last 30, 40 years? That prevalence has been touching the roofs.
Expressions have been poor.
Expression can be poorer, yes, expression, but genes remains constant, correct? If genes remain constant, what is changed? Is the environment. Inside the body, outside the body, wherever, around the gene, the environment may have gone bad, and we will discuss what problem could happen, but expression is changing, but environment is changing. Genes remain same. If my father has diabetes, does it matter that I should also have it? Right? His father did not have it, he had it, and conventional doctors said, oh, you have it, you will also get it. It's no good, right? Humans are not so, we are there for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. If our genes would have been bad, we would have been dead by now. It's only last 30, 60 years the disease has rampant. It is not that disease was never there, it was there, but at this frequency, almost every third person is diabetic, every third person have a metabolic disorder, which has all these problems. Almost everybody is sick. Child is sick, adult is sick, adolescent is sick, elderly is sick, pakka. So if humans are so bad, we should not be here, we should just be, vanishing. Well, my take is, genes may predispose us, may put us at a risk. Now you buy a BMW car and you buy a Maruti car, okay? Both cars have their own efficiencies. Both cars can perform under their own efficiencies. But BMW can go bad, even Maruti can go bad. It is the fuel which is deciding the outcome, or the components or the materials in there, it's deciding. You buy the best of the genetics, you can still get unwell. Okay? So this is something we need to educate the persons we work with. Disease starts in the mind. Mind is not in the brain. Mind is outside the brain. This is brain. And mind is outside, my consciousness, I'm connected. So if a doctor tells the patient, your disease is because of your poor genetics, the guy will not come out with the problem because he believes that inherently I have a problem. Why will I get better? There's no reason for me to get better. Doesn't matter what I do. If I tell, oh, your genetics remains constant, but probably you have been eating more carbs, you don't sleep well, you eat too much for your age, you have poor microbiome, you have poor mitochondria. Because of that, environment for your gene has changed. Because of that, you are manifesting a disease, and if we change the environment, probably the disease will regress back. Then the mind will accept the story, and there's a chance that person may come out of the problem. Is that correct? Thoughts, comments? Okay, next. Now, typically from a functional medicine standpoint of view, any chronic problem, these are the pillars. Genome could be a problem, may not be a problem, may be a predisposing factor. But you cannot do anything about it as of now. There are some genetic fixing happening, but whether it happens or not, we don't know, and we don't have a control, and we don't have access. Yes?
I think he's presenting, sharing this PPT, so you don't need to write all the notes.
Yes, yes.
Just noting down what is relevant to this for you to remember. You don't need to copy everything in your note because you will share that.
Yes, please don't write until unless that is not there.
Let's be more interactive sessions.
Yes. No problem. Yes. So fundamentally, when we look at the disease from a functional standpoint of view, these are the reasons typically that you see in any of the patient. their gut permeability increase, something called leaky gut. So, even allopathy says disease begins in the gut. Naturopathy for sure says, Ayurveda for sure says, so most of the problems are beginning in the gut, and one of the phenomena called leaky gut. We will discuss in detail. Okay? And leaky gut is happening because there is a poor microbiome. Now, we are feeding a lot of fiber rich food, we are feeding them probiotics, things like that. We want to improve the microbiome. Now, when the microbiome is bad, bad means imbalance, good and the bad, which is called dysbiosis, which is there. Lot of the chronic problems are triggering from that, and one of the key component for urticaria is dysbiosis. Dysbiosis means infection. Infection will make a endotoxin, LPS, that will trigger the mast cell to release histamine, and histamine will cause urticaria. Okay? So, if you clean the dysbiosis, whether you do colon hydrotherapy, whether you put ozone in their rectum, or you give them neem water, whatever, doesn't matter. It's not the therapy that matters, it's just understanding that matters, as long as our therapy is able to fix it. Next is the poor diet. This is a physical body, hardware and a software. What you see me as a physical hardware, which is made of the food that I eat. As simple as that. If some deficiency is there, either protein or fat or phospholipids or minerals or vitamins, something is missing, then also my function can go low. I can test all of that. I can test my microbiome today. I can test my nutrients also. Whatever is missing, I can feed the body through food, through nutraceuticals, through whatever means, doesn't matter. The cell should get what it needs. That's all that matters. The metabolic activity will improve. Next is unwanted things in the body. If my body is having heavy metals, my body is having plastics, my body is having chemicals, pesticides, anything unwanted which can affect my microbiome, which can affect my immune system, and which can affect my mitochondria, thereby I having a metabolic disorder. Okay? My machinery has gone bad, right? These toxins it's like a car engine with a lot of carbon particles. You have the best of the car, best of the genetics, but you have too much of a lead in there, you have too much of mercury in there, microplastics in there, whatever. You can test, right? You test and see what is there and you clean it out. Body is a self-repairing system. You feed what it needs, you remove what is unwanted, it will start working. What is the problem? Then your stress, your mind manifest. Okay. Now, stress can be physical, can also be mental. Largely mental stress is a problem, but physical stress also can become a problem. If I can lift 10 kilos, for example, for some activity, but you say, no, do 20 kilos, that's also stress on my body. When I go beyond my capacity, all of a sudden, my body takes a toll. Lot of women go through a stressful period and they develop an autoimmune problem. The stress was the one trigger. We lose somebody in the family, autoimmunity comes up. Okay. Now, if stress is their problem, we as medical professionals, we have to help them get rid of that. Okay. One, of course, we can do psychotherapy. We can tell them this is how. Second, we can put them in touch with the energy healer, or we learn some practices about it. But this is the beginning of the problem. Next is your circadian mismatch. Daytime, we metabolize. Our cells get the fuel turns into the energy, and we metabolize. We digest, which is also part of metabolism. So, lot of the activity happening into body. The night time is when the repair has to happen. Imagine we keep running the car, we don't let it repair, running, it will wither off. See, anyways, aging is happening, we are all aging, we are losing our ability to repair as we could have done in the younger age. There are a lot of young people also, but don't compare with me. I am aging. Okay, so if we are aging, our ability to repair is compromising. But because of the circadian mismatch, we further down regulate our repair. 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is the time when you sleep and you repair. Now, circadian mismatch means daytime we are sitting in the tube lights, night we are also sitting in the tube lights. We don't get sunlight in the day and darkness in the night. Darkness is as important as sunlight. Simple. Then we have something called non-native electromagnetic fields, which is your Wi-Fi. Earth has electromagnetic fields. Similarly, these gadgets has electromagnetic fields. This wiring has electromagnetic fields. This projector has electromagnetic fields. Now, this is constantly damaging my system, but my repair capability is weak. Then net I'm not repairing, I have a disease. Any food which is destroying our digestive system, which is acting like an antigen to my immune system. Like autoimmunity, you take a vaccine, you give it to the body, we say antibodies will be formed. But sometimes the food will have lectins or other anti-nutrients, they can help develop autoimmune problems, thereby problem can happen. Phytic acid. Dal, sir. Lot of people are not able to digest dal. Gluten may have something. Almonds may have something. Soaked nuts, unsoaked nuts may have something. So all of that. And eventually, omega-3 to omega-6 ratio balance we have to maintain. Okay. When this goes out of balance, there is more omega-6 from the seed oils, from the refined oils, and less of the omega-3, it becomes pro-inflammatory. And then, very important, which is the key, that is the mitochondria. Okay. So, 1:3, sir. Sorry, 3:1. 3:1. So 6 is 3, 3 is 1. We can test all of that. And then comes your metabolic function. When we say metabolic disorder, okay, now all of you are working with the metabolic disorders. What do we really mean by metabolic disorder? What is exactly happening at a physiological level which is causing the metabolism to be wrecked? What do we mean by metabolic problem? Anything. So, okay. Now, anything you comes to mind, just say it. Okay. We are all students. We are all trying to learn. Okay. There is nothing right, wrong. But more you open up, more we understand each other, and we can solve these puzzles. I will learn something. You will learn something. Net, we go home with some gains. So, what do we mean by a metabolic problem?
Mitochondrial dysfunction itself is a metabolism.
Correct. So, just like a car has an engine, now this engine which is called mitochondria, it is doing a lot of functions. Your immune system dependent on the mitochondria. All the biochemical processes largely happening in the mitochondria. Your digestibility happening dependent on the mitochondria. Your brain health dependent on the mitochondria. Your detoxification happens with the health of the mitochondria. Okay. So, almost almost every process in the body, mitochondria plays a key role. Now, every cell has 5,000 to 10,000 mitochondria. Every cell has 5,000 to 10,000 mitochondria. If the size of the mitochondria, quality of the mitochondria, number of the mitochondria is reduced, then you have blood sugar, you have low T3, low T4, you have more weight because you don't burn your fuel. Okay. So, almost autoimmunity, mitochondria. So, almost all problems are linked back to the mitochondria. All the net sir said chemicals biochemical reactions, largely it is here. If my engine is bad, I am in a bad shape. Okay. Well, questions now. Thoughts and questions.
Metabolic disorder means mitochondrial dysfunction. That's it.
Mostly, sir. Yes. Most of the fuel that we take and it has to be turned into energy, it is the mitochondria largely. Now, I work with all kind of problems. Okay. Sometimes doctor says, oh, you are just MBBS. How can you work with autism? How can you work with dementia? How can you work with diabetes? I say I don't work with disease. I am only looking at the mitochondria. Whatever you get sunlight, mitochondria gets better. You give hydration, mitochondria gets better. You give lot of fat and protein, mitochondria gets better. You give nutrients, mitochondria gets better. You remove the toxins, mitochondria gets better. You give grounding, mitochondria gets better. Everything revolves around the mitochondria at a physiological level. Now we understand that this is where the something is stuck. You fix that. Doesn't matter what are we dealing with.
Aging is also.
Yes, sir. See, till the age 22, number of the mitochondria will improve, will increase, size will increase. After 22, aging starts, youthness goes down. Now, we are aging because we are losing the mitochondria. Our ability to repair, regenerate is losing because we are losing the mitochondria. Now, people with the disease, they have faster aging because they are losing more mitochondria. Now, can we fix aging for life? No. We will age. We all has to go. Can we go smoothly? Can we have a decent, we don't want to be on a bed after some time. That we can achieve if we have mitochondria is, of course, the karmic structure is there. Other things are there beyond the physicality. This is the key. Thoughts, questions? Anything that you think is relevant, irrelevant, just ask. So we have 4 hours. Okay, you are not going anywhere, anyways in this. Huh? Sir, Wi-Fi? The wiring in the walls that can get earpods, anything electronic gadgets which either big or small which will have electromagnetic field. Our own mitochondria has a certain frequency, certain vibrative effect. When we take our body next to any machine, any electronic gadget which has a different frequency, our mitochondria is disturbed.
So in terms, if you're talking about disturbance, is it cell shrinking, is it chemical imbalance, or is it a cellular action difference? What exactly is imbalance with respect to EMF?
Well, mitochondria is vibrating at a certain frequency. When we get close to other frequency, which is a different frequency, then this machinery will not act smoothly. Now, there will be biochemical imbalances, there will be problem with the repair of it.
So you mean to say overall?
Overall. Multiple problems.
Is there anything like how much power we should have gadgets from the body?
Well, sir, at least 6 to 11 feet we should keep it away. No, we can test the mitochondrial health. There are tests. We'll discuss as we go along. There are tests. Of course, everything we may not test, but if we understand the thingy, then it becomes easy for us to what to do. Yes. Huh.
10 to 2 is the ideal time.
Huh. Huh.
If you sleep more, any disadvantage?
No, sir. No. See, 10 to 2 is the right time to sleep. when the repair has to happen. Now you can sleep beyond any hour, no problem. No.
Like some people do artificial device. Actually, this is also explained in the TCM. TCM also it is explained that organ clock theory is there. In that organ clock theory also 10 to 2 is where the repair happens to organ clock towards the things goes on the metabolism digestion where the recovery process happens. So it is said that you have to wake up, sleep before that. And when morning time it is activated, you are so ideally in 9:30 you should go to bed
Sir.
so that by the time you get sleep by 10 a.m.
Yes. Yes. So this should be a part of the prescription.
Can we, sir, we should switch off the Wi-Fi in the whole property by 9 o'clock.
Sir.
But we can't put a jammer. No, we can switch off the Airtel tower also. No, we can Are you sure you are not going to get calls? Yeah, no problem. I'm very happy.
No, see,
We will put all emergency doctors' room, we will put landline.
see, one of the healing will happen when you come out of the EMF. Somebody sitting in Bangalore, they're bombarded with EMF. You come out in a place where less EMF, the healing will happen. So we have to reduce the EMF. Which one?
Analysis devices.
See, all gadgets will have their consequences, right? All the trackers will have their consequences. Bluetooth is always there, okay? So let we humans as humans, okay? We are not half humans, are machines.
But
So,
ideally, bringing a discipline of 1 hour switching off
sir.
can able to bring a huge amount of.
Yes, yes. Well,
Sure.
making sense for everybody? And I'm sure all the parameters we are already working on. It's nothing new for us. Okay, next. Ruhi? So, we want to understand the problem. You have your diabetes. Your mitochondria is not able to turn your fuel, which is blood sugar, into energy. Because the engine is blocked, that develops resistance of insulin. And that makes your blood sugar high. Okay? Now, we want to understand the blood sugar is there, which is fine. What is causing it? Right? So, we want to understand the pathways. Where is the problem? And if you look at again the pathways, all this 10, 11 imbalances you will see. Okay. So, functional medicine will help us understand where is the problem. Okay, now I want you to ask all of us a few questions on the different diseases. What is the reason? Let's say IBS. Why do we have, somebody has IBS? What is the possibility that, what is irritating their bowels? Huh? Antibiotic. What will happen with the antibiotic?
Basically, the mucus lining of the flora will get damaged if they have low pH. It's higher the pH. If it being alkaline pH, if it is maintained. So stomach pH should be less than 2.5. But when it becomes alkaline, there is a chance of again getting damaged.
Correct.
Dysbiosis.
Dysbiosis. Okay. Correct. Correct. So, lot of time anybody who has undergone multiple rounds of antibiotics, they will grow more fungal infections. And this fungal infection will break the lining of the gut. What else? What is the other root cause?
Poor eating habits, and wrong combinations.
Okay. Okay, what is the root cause of hypothyroidism? Okay, what do we mean by hypothyroidism? How do you diagnose hypothyroidism? Okay, so let's say we have TSH T4, T3, these markers. Which one has to be low so that, or high, so that you can label somebody as hypothyroid? Huh? TSH should be high, okay. But if TSH is high, T4 is normal, T3 is normal, what do we call it? Huh? No. Well, what do we mean by subclinical? What do we mean by? It's everybody uses this term, that subclinical. What do we really mean by? My gland is making this and that. My gland 80% is T4, 20% is T3. If my gland is making what it's supposed to be making, why are you labeling me as hypothyroid? My gland job is to make T4 and T3, 80% is T4, 20% is T3. If my gland is making enough of T4, why do you label me just because my TSH is high? Fancy names, modern medicine is very good at fancy names, okay. Ideally, T4 is an inactive hormone, T3 is active hormone. If this is 8, this is 60, this is normal, this is low, this should be subclinical. My gland is able to make what is there, but it is not converting and acting the way it should be acting. Okay. So, we will discuss on the thyroid. Just want to make one point. We may discuss certain things which may look bizarre as compared to what is already we knowing. So, be ready to unlearn certain things. Okay. Everything in the book may not be as it is happening in the real world. Next. Okay. So, currently we look at, this is how the conventional system works. Somebody has diabetes, somebody has hypertension, somebody has cholesterol, somebody has acidity. We send them to different doctors and different prescriptions. Okay. But they may have the similar problems which is causing diabetes, which is causing hypertension, which is causing cholesterol. Okay, what do we mean by somebody has high cholesterol? Somebody calls you and say, oh, I have high cholesterol. What is the problem with the cholesterol? Our body is made of the cholesterol. So why are we so scared of this cholesterol business? Okay, somebody has high LDL. Somebody has high LDL. Low density lipoprotein is very high. It is 230, for example. What does it represent? High chances of atherosclerosis. Okay. Why would the liver make LDL to be so high? Is something made by the liver? Liver is not working properly. Then it will start making this. Oh, so think about, is body a smart system or a disorganized system? Smart system. Far more smarter than our brain, tiny brains. If liver is making high LDL, it should be serving a purpose. If something is high, if triglycerides are high, LDL is high, liver is making it, there has to be a purpose of it. Just because our book says LDL is a problem, doesn't mean it's really a problem. Now, I tell you, when you have dysbiosis is making endotoxins, and endotoxins has to be neutralized. Endotoxins doing a damage to the vessel of the heart. Now, endotoxin doing a damage, liver as a protective mechanism makes LDL to counteract it, to fight those endotoxins. LDL carries CoQ10 to the site of the injury. Okay. So, now you think LDL is an army for us. Okay. It's like India-Pakistan border, we have a fight and there's so much army going on, and the media clicks a picture of the army and say, oh, army is a problem. It's a fight which is a problem because the Pakistanis have come inside us. We have to fight it, right? If endotoxins has come, liver makes LDL, LDL is not a problem. So, I want a mindset. We may not discuss everything that we can in this 2-3 months, but a mindset has to change. Whatever we read, whatever I tell you, whatever somebody else tell you, or whatever your own thoughts of the problem, validate. Think about it. Is it really the truth? If I tell you LDL is made by the liver, you go check it. Google is there, ChatGPT is there. Today, information access is so much easy. Anything somebody has told. So, sometimes why I am taking this point, a patient comes to me with some problem. He has been prescribed by a cardiologist some statin, which will impact the production of the LDL. Now, I being an MBBS doctor, I can get, oh my God, cardiologist, big doctor has given statin. Shall I not stop it or stop it? I have dilemma. But if I know the problem, I know the physiology, I know the pathophysiology, the bugger is wrong, I can tell the patient, your doctor is wrong, but at least you can think about it. We may not be able to say on a document that you stop it, but we can inform the patient LDL is for your own protection, it is not to do the damage. If I stop the production, the LPS, the endotoxin, will do a further damage to your arteries. You will have faster clotting. Atherosclerosis will increase. Okay? So, anybody, mindset is important. We may not learn everything in this small life we have, but question everything and little by little build on that. Okay, next. Okay. Now, gene expression is influenced by environment, lifestyle, diet, nutrition, toxin, and the psychosocial spiritual factors and stress. Okay. Genes are not a problem all the time. Is as a doctor, as a practitioner, I don't know what is causing it. I don't have an answer to the problem. Then I can say, your genetics, deal with it, what is my problem? You have hypertension, your genetics has a problem, your father has a problem, your mother has a problem, you have a problem, deal with it, what is I can do? I can only give a problem pill. But if I know these are the issues, then I can say your hypertension is because your vessel is not able to dilate. Your vessel is not able to dilate because the smooth muscle in the vessel is weak. The smooth muscle is weak because it is not able to produce enough energy. Why it is not able to produce energy? Because mitochondria is weak. Why mitochondria is weak? Because there is toxin, lead is sitting there, for example. Right? So, if we understand the phenotype is a consequence of genetics and the environment, and we can change the environment. So, chronic disease can only be solved by shifting our focus from symptom management to addressing the underlying problems. We keep saying that nothing wrong, nothing new. Okay. So, functional medicine just trying to help us get there. Okay. We have no restrictions. See, lot of the functional medicine stuff has come from naturopathy. Okay. Lot of it has come from Ayurveda. And the modern part has come from the modern science. So, we have blended all of that. And this is all we have to do. I have one core competency, I can develop another core competency, build my understanding to the problem better. As a practitioner, I am more stronger. Okay. At the end of the day, patient don't care what degree we hold, as long as we can help them, as long as we can connect their dots. They have urticaria, I tell them this leading to urticaria. If you fix this, this gets better. That's all patient wants to know. They don't care about degrees. At some point, it all vanishes. As long as you have your confidence, you know your science better, that's all that matters. Next. Well, I think this is, we have discussed. Next. So, now nutrition plays a key. Fundamentally, we are made of what we eat or what we digest, what we metabolize. Okay. My brain is getting dementia, for example. What is dementia? My neurons losing the mitochondria. If you put my brain in PET scan, it will be hypometabolic, means less energy in my brain. The structural material is proteins and fats and phospholipids, for example. Structural. Inside we need other cofactors, B vitamins, all the minerals, things like that. But structurally, if you look at that, it is fats and proteins and your phospholipids Nowadays you must be hearing people are going on a keto diet, people are going on a low carb diet, they perform better. Okay. We Indians largely on a carb diet, nothing wrong. But if you go under sunlight all the time, your carb diet is good, no problem with that. But if you're sitting in an AC room all the time, you don't hardly get your sunlight, you need to go on a low carb diet. So we Indians have kept the same food that we are eating now, but the lifestyle has become drastically different. We don't get sunlight. See why I'm saying sunlight? If you look at a street dog and a pet dog, which is more healthier, which is more faster? Street dog. The street dog get anything to eat? Is anything to eat for the street dog? Hardly. Pet dog is eating pet food and vaccines and all that. Poor guy hardly drinking any water or the drain water. He is doing all the nonsense that he could have done. Still this street dog is more faster, more resilient. Why? What is the difference? Outside. This guy 4 legs on the ground, under the sun. Grounded, under the sun. If we can keep ourselves outside, we don't need so much food also. Our mitochondria is trying to extract electrons out of the food. And electrons is what we need for our whatever functions. You have to make your enzymes, you need electrons. You need to repair yourself, you need electrons. Electrons is what we need. Now, when we try to extract electrons from the food, it's a very tedious process, very tough process. But when you get free electrons, you get on the ground, you go under sunlight, you get free electrons just like that. So, street dog getting free electrons, keeping them healthy. But we are inside, we are eating so much food which has to be processed all the time. That is a problem. Okay. So, carb diet today we becoming a problem for us because we don't live in the same environment. So, there are nutritionists who are saying you can eat like grannies and dadis and nannies and you can be healthy. Is the environment remain the same for us? We are sitting under air conditions, we are sitting under Wi-Fi, we are hardly getting any sunlight, we are getting tube lights. Can we eat the same food and be same healthy? Is the question. Thoughts, comments? You can disagree, by the way. You don't have to agree with me all the time. You can completely disagree and we can debate that. Thoughts?
So nutrition is also one, you say that they're part of an environmental factor.
Has. Yes.
Other than the pollution, stress.
Yes.
But I would say nutrition is one of the major impact.
Yeah. Yes. So, anybody, I work with psoriasis for example, with the autoimmune problem, their amino acid profile will be weak. There are people, they eat so much, the food doesn't become them. Digestion is a problem. Okay? The food has to become you, that means digestion. If your microbiome is unhealthy, okay, there are people who are very hungry all the time. All the time they want to, and you bring them here, put them onto juice diet, how do you deal? So, they're always hungry. What is making them hungry all the time? They're already fat, they're already hungry, and they're hungry all the time. Leptin resistance. One possibility, leptin. They don't know when to stop. What else? Microbiome, which is dysbiotic. If somebody has a fungal infection in their gut, they will crave for sugars and carbs all the time. You cannot stop them. Okay. A child who gets hungry at night, they will have parasitic infections. Okay. The parasite is asking for the food, not the person is asking. Poor guys cannot control. You fix their microbiome, you control these infections and they become, 2 meals should be enough for them. Okay, next.
If somebody is not getting hungry,
Their digestive capability is poor, most likely. Let's say a lot of people, they drink water, they feel bloated. fungal infections or other infections will keep fermenting their stuff, whatever little they're eating, and their stomach is always tight. And they don't have, it's filled with air. They don't have hunger anymore. Again? Haan sir, haan.
What is the take of high protein diet?
Short term is a good strategy. Long term is a problem. So nowadays is high. So microbiome needs fiber. It needs prebiotics. If you want a diverse microbiome, we need a prebiotic, lot of fiber to it. Now, short term, we do keto diet, which is a meat-based diet. You feel fantastic outcomes because you you're not feeding the microbiome anymore. The pathogenic ones start dying. The load of the infection will come down. And the sugar load, which is leading to resistance of insulin, will come down. And temporarily, you feel very good. But people who are on long-term ketos and high protein, I think they will have the consequences to be faced. But good marketing happening for them now.
Now even what nutritional based supplements we are getting, a lot of supplements are there in the markets.
Yes,
so
yes.
Even or Herbalife or any Ayurvedic nutrients, and also they are suggesting like we are not getting daily requirements because of the growing, whether they are organically grown or organically crop, all those things. But still, it's better to have this so that it will be a better life. And people are having long term. But also we have seen like a lot of people are getting gallstones and other things, and the doctors have prescribed this induced. Like I have seen a lot of doctors diagnosis, MBBS and researchers diagnosis, drug-induced
Gallstones.
and drug-induced. They are saying that directly, like it is due to the products.
Okay. So let's go back and try to see what can cause gallstones. What can cause the formation of a gallstone? What is generally a gallstone made of? Cholesterol. It's a stasis of the bile. Cholesterol is not getting dissolved and it becomes crystallized and calcium comes on top of it. Largely cholesterol because stasis of the bile. Okay. Now, what is a trigger for the body to release bile in the intestine? When does it happen? Fat. Okay. When you eat fat, your gallbladder will squeeze and squeeze out what is there. Even a smaller 5 mm stone it can squeeze out because the duct is there, which is diameter is 5 mm. It can go to the intestine. But if I go on low fat diet, I don't give a signal for the gallbladder to squeeze. Stasis. Okay. And stasis can cause the formation long term. Short term, low fat diet, low carb diet, whatever we are doing for therapeutic effects, no problem. But long term, gallbladders can happen as a consequence low fat diet. Okay. Now, there are different products in the market. For example, if you have herbal, I can tell you my understanding to it. This Amway, there is Herbalife. Now, Herbalife chooses milk solids, a poor quality protein in the dabba. When you take that, your immune system reacts to it and you start making autoantibody. Anybody with the Herbalife products, you will see they will have autoimmune problems long standing. Then the liver can get into autoimmunity. Their immune system is already inflamed, then they can have 10 things with their body. Usually Amway will have a high quality protein which is digestible easily, quality is good, then you don't have long term problems with that. So, not that every supplement is a problem, we just have to see what is in there which could be causing the problem. I haven't seen anybody taking proteins and anybody has diagnosed them with, that's why I am saying question the possibility. I am not saying this product can cause a problem or not. Can this protein powder cause gallbladder stone? Unlikely. Diagnosis I can give 100 Because I'm from Punjab, my generation, previous generations were much healthier. Then the cardiologist came and they said no fat. People would drink ghee, and people were healthy, tall, healthy people. They will drink ghee all the time. Half a liter ghee they will drink in a day, just like that. Then the cardiologist came, no, your arteries are getting clogged because of the ghee. And the raw material to the body is stopped. And now the diabetic capital, it is cardiovascular capital, it's a cancer capital. All of that has come just because we stopped taking the necessary food into our diet. Okay. I'm just saying, question everything, good or bad doesn't matter. If I'm saying something, question. If somebody else saying something, question, and make your own hypothesis around it. Okay. Now, there's an increase in diabetes. Okay. Exponential increase in diabetes. If genetics was the problem, then we would have know that human genome in last 60, 30, 40 years has gone bad, and that is why, because we are getting this thing. Genome, there is no evidence that human genome has gone bad. Then why is there an increase in the diabetes? Almost everybody, right? Somebody in 20s getting diabetes, somebody getting 40. See, as we age, my mitochondria is getting weak. I can get diabetes, no problem. But at a young age, why am I getting diabetes? In your 20s, when your mitochondria is very super healthy, you can metabolize anything and everything, and you're getting your diabetes. Okay. So it is not only the genetics. This is important, very, very key concept I want you to take at home and explain to most of your clients. Okay. It may be a problem, but the problem largely is there. It's your key factors.
Genetics may load the gun, but it's the lifestyle that matters.
Yes, absolutely. Thoughts, comments? Next. Well, one of the thing is we want to make more patient-centric work for our in functional medicine. Okay. Two people can have the same problem. They can have high TSH, they can have low T4, and they have hypothyroid. But these two people may be from a different strata of their economics. Their age may be different. So my plan can become different for both of them. One person is willing to work hard and faster for themselves. One say, I want to take it easy. See, today prescription means 25 mcg, same for everybody, or thyroxine, or 50 mcg, same for everybody. There is no individualization happening. But here we want to take a patient-centric approach. If a patient comes to me with 10 problems, either say, this is my plan of action, you want to do in 3 months, I can do for you. You want to take 1 year, I can do 1 year also for you. What is your speed of work, I can go with you. So our interventions should be on the willingness of the patient. If the patient is willing, we can go at a speed. We can fix all the problems at once. But if say, Baba, I can do diet, I cannot do supplement, fine, let me do your diet. I can do supplement, I can do diet, I cannot do colon hydrotherapy, okay, but I can. So it has to be patient-centered. Whatever we are prescribing, the patient should be willing for it. The mind should be accepting. We cannot force them to do it. We have to check with them. Are you okay? You willing? Then you will see the results will be different. If you convince them, this is your problem, this is the root cause, this is my action plan, and based on your problem, I am putting these 10 things, are you okay with it? Is your mind aligned? If the mind is aligned, 3 months, the patient is out of the problem. But the mind is not aligned, you give them 10 solutions at a stretch, they may not accept it and the results will not come. So one of the key concept I want another take home message is work with the mind. Make sure our patient understands what we are doing, why we are doing. They are the reasoning that we give to them. Then you see the results becomes easy. You don't have to struggle. Any thoughts on this?
Just a general question. See, when humans are evolved, as you mentioned, thousands of years, just 30, 40 years of changing environment can impact this. See, because we have lived in all kind of era. We prehistoric era, civilized era, famines, drought, everything.
Yeah.
Just 30 years of just changing the environment.
Well,
If the evolution was a thing, we would have adapted to this kind of thing also.
it's a very sudden. See, now let's say what changes to the environment has happened today. Let's first try to sink into that. What changes?
Is our bodies adapting to new kind of things?
Not at this speed the environment we are changing. Adaptation is very poor. Adaptation can take generations. Now, there was no electricity. Now we have electricity. 60 years back there was no circadian mismatch. Sun will come, darkness will happen. Now we don't have that. Now we have genetically modified food, which is different protein to our immune system. We have so many antibiotics. And the major dysregulator is vaccines. Are we supposed to be taking so many vaccines? The mother is pregnant, they want to give TT. The child is just born, they want to give hepatitis. Generations were living much healthier earlier. See, there is a new theory. They say, oh, humans were only living 32 years, now they're living 68. Indians were living 32 because there was no food. Britishers took away all of it. You understand? People were dying of hunger, not of disease. They were dying of an infection, not of a chronic problem. Now today you gave them food, they're living longer. See, we are living what we are supposed to be living. Right? So, probably we are still not adapting to it. I don't know whether we adapt or not. I had to come back a few times to.
Because one article it was telling they are stopped at evolution.
Evolution.
Yes. In future we might not see the Y chromosomes in future.
Well,
Smaller amount they are observing now.
Well, sir, I think.
Even human genome project also we have not discovered all the genes.
Yeah.
So only hardly 20% we know.
It's our limitation.
Yes.
Technology limitation. But I of the opinion that Earth knows to self-correct.
Yes.
The consciousness knows to fix it. Whether it eliminate us only, that is something. Humans we are, see, out of the so many universe, we are only one Earth and we are tiny beings. Who cares about us anyway? Okay. Well, next. So, can you go back? Now, lot of things we have already discussed. Now, this is important. Okay. In functional medicine, we want to preserve the organ function. Okay. My kidney is stage 2. I want to retain at stage 2. I don't want to get down to stage 3. My brain has some cognitive ability. I don't want to get deteriorated. I want to preserve that by the natural means. That's one. And can I improve that? Wherever I am, if my kidney is stage 2, CKD is stage 2, can I improve that? This is where we use regenerative medicine. Okay, then you can also learn about it, nothing very significant about it. We can use regenerative medicine and we can improve the organ function. If my adrenals are fatigued, I can improve that. If my thyroid is weak, I can improve that. For a lot of time, naturopathy in US, a lot of naturopaths, they're using organ meat. Organ meat is for organ systems. If somebody's thyroid is bad, they give you a thyroid capsule of a young animal. Calf, for example, or goat, for example. They take the thyroid, crush the organ, put into a capsule and give it to you. Now, this organ of a young animal can give you something called peptide. And this peptide will help your gland repair. See, lot of the naturopathy, Americans has discovered a lot of things. And one of the things they do is organ system based capsules. Or they feed them also. Okay. If my liver is bad, I can take a young animal liver capsules. I'm a vegetarian, I don't do it, but but this is something we can do for our patients. So if the brain is bad, somebody is losing their cognition, we can give them a pig brain. There's a product called cerebrolysin. Now don't worry about it. So there's a beautiful peptide called cerebrolysin. It comes from the pig brain. Okay. it is typically indication is pig brain. Yeah, animal. Well, people are eating.
The allegation decided. There is a big shock.
So there is a beautiful peptide called cerebrolysin. It is used for traumatic brain injury. Somebody, you meet an accident, you have a traumatic injury to the brain, and they infuse that pig-derived peptide. It can help repair that brain after injury. But if your degeneration is happening because of the age, and you take that cerebrolysin, you can do so much better. Okay, so I'm just telling you a concept where you can use organ system peptides, maybe pancreas, maybe thyroid, maybe liver, maybe brain, maybe kidney, to improve the reserve of the organ. This organ reserve you can increase by giving the peptide therapy, and one of the simplest way is using young animal glands put into capsules. Okay, it is there, sir. We are using thyroid, we are using brain, a lot of things are there. Well, India may not have it because Menaka Gandhi is there, we have to get it from US.
Sir, how our body will take that?
So, one of the, everybody know President Putin. Okay, President Putin looks very young for his age. Putin. See, our Manmohan Singh has come, Putin was there. Manmohan is gone, Putin is still there. Modi is there for 12 years, Putin is as young as he was always. His physician was Dr. Kevinson. Kevinson has established this whole science of peptides. Okay, they extract active ingredients from the young animal glands, which our own glands are making it as a signaling processes. It signals your gland or organ system to repair itself. You can repair your heart, you can repair your cardiovascular system, your vessels, you can reduce your atherosclerosis, you can reduce your fibrosis. It is a small amino acid peptide which goes to the body, signals the body.
Because you know, you see Putin and Manmohan Singh, Putin is army,
Huh.
and Manmohan Singh is not army. Now we have one patient, the army retired, Colonel this one. He is also 87 years, 89.
Huh.
If he comes here, he walks around and this one. So now majorly impacting the physical activity or the routine, whatever they follow, or just the supplement, whatever we are.
Both. Mind, see, army people, the strong mind.
Yes.
Mind is definitely a play. See, if I don't want to live beyond 80, doesn't matter what you give, I will not live. But if I have a strong mind, and I have to, for my strong mind, I need a physical body that can go with my mind, and I use these peptides, they will help repair my body. See, if I'm already healthy, I don't need it. Peptide is used for people who need more enhancement.
Now if you see the blue zone concept, they
Huh.
never use any kind of these things. The natural way they have really, their normal lifespan is only more than 100 years. So this one.
Correct, correct. See, the environment is clean for them. The food is clean. There's no pesticide. They're living on the sea, which is rich in the nutrients. Okay. We poor fellas is the problem. Okay. Next. Well, something we have to understand. Let's say a lot of time people will come to you with blood sugars to be high. Okay. We'll discuss in detail, but one concept I want to leave. A disease will happen after lot of the pancreas is gone bad, lot of the mitochondria is already gone bad. Almost 70% of the function of the glands, organ system may have been already be compromised. Okay. So then, even though we are able to fix the problem, the person may still need lot of support to sustain that good health for a long term. Okay, this is something we have to keep in mind. A lot of time, if somebody comes to you with HbA1c is 13, very likely pancreas is also gone bad. If pancreas is gone bad, you cannot reverse that diabetes. Then you need insulin. Okay, so we also need to understand which cases we can fix, which cases we need to have medication along with the our own processes. So we have to have, we'll discuss more into diabetes session. Okay, next. Well, I think this is, all of you are well aware of this. We want to digest better. So this is the core of naturopathy, Ayurveda, functional medicine. We want to make sure digestion is good, absorption is good, and elimination is also good. If somebody is constipated, it doesn't matter what we do, they will continue with their problem. Second, very important is the immune system. Every disease, chronic problem, inflammation is the play. And inflammation play means the immune system is dysregulated. And it becomes too much dysregulated, autoimmunity will come. But initially, small dysregulation is there. Now, if we can remove the dysregulation, make the immune system better, sustainability of the health will be there. We want to improve the energy production, the mitochondria. We want to improve the flow of the blood flow, circulation of the blood has to be good. Okay? Communication, which is your hormones, which is your neurotransmitter. We want to make sure this is also good. We want to make sure the muscles and connective tissues. So again, the core functions that we work on is this. Okay? Any patient comes to us, be diabetes, be it hypothyroid, be it brain dysfunction, we still want to look at the whole spectrum. See, today, diabetologist only looking at blood sugars. If there's something else, go to this guy, that guy. But as a holistic healthcare practitioners, we want to look at the whole system of the body. So when you are making a treatment plan also, make sure you have to put something for every system of the body. Even though the patient has come to us with one diagnosis, but other things may be contributing to it. So when you make a plan, either in terms of the nutrition or in terms of the exercises or in terms of the meditation, whatever we say, we make sure we look at the whole spectrum. You can test each patient on hormones, on their inflammation, on their mitochondria, so that you have a good picture of the patient, what may be wrong. Okay?
Do you recommend that we develop a treatment protocol? We ensure that each area is being
Yes.
covered off.
Yes.
Some of the other way. So some selection happens.
Correct, sir. So anybody comes to me, I look at the whole. I anyway test hormones, I anyway test mitochondria, I anyway test their immune system, so that we have a good picture of the patient, so that we don't miss on things. Any disease will happen over a period of time. Today the marker may be positive, may be normal, may be halfway. For example, ANA or anti-nuclear antibodies. If it is less than 30, is 29. More than 30 is 31. 31 becomes positive, 29, don't worry. Correct? But this 29 is almost at the verge of the problem. So already before the problem becomes visible, we don't want it to manifest into disease. We want to already work on that. Okay. Questions? Well, so this is just an introduction to the functional medicine. Then we'll start with the gut health today. You want to take a small break, or we can continue, or questions?
Break.
Huh?
Please, only for the guest. Yeah, you can pick up a cup of coffee.
Huh.
You want to brush to washroom.
Rui, abhi second whole gut health ka. So we will go into details of the gut health today. Okay, very elaborate topic, 50 slides. I want you So far we have just done an introduction. Now we'll have a juice of the today, something real that you can put into practice. So far we just priming ourselves. So how many cases of IBD that we see here? IBD? IBS is common. GERD? Common. Food allergies? Common. We good, sir? But any questions till others come, or everybody is here?
No, I think we can start.
We can start. Okay.
There are a few people moved from here to there.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what it is.
Well, today in this presentation, one is we'll try to look at the microbiome, and we'll try to look at the possibilities of these problems. What is causing IBS, IBD, GERD, allergies, leaky gut? What is the reason behind it, and what potential answers we have for that? Okay, answers may not be complete because I give you answer what I understand, but you can build your own answers. As long as we understand the problem, is that all matters for me. You build your answers. I am more happy with that. Don't take my answers as a solution. Okay, but now I want your interactions. I want discussions in this. Then only we will have a better understanding of the topic. Well, we know most of the chronic problems, gut is a problem. Okay. Now you have autoimmunity, you have poor immune system, you have brain problems, mental health, digestion, skin, sleep. Everywhere gut could be an issue. So any person comes to you, you want to look at this part in detail. Okay. Now why is so much important? Because 70% of the lining of the 70% of the immune system lines at the gut lining. Now, anybody develops a food allergy, anybody develops an autoimmunity, the starting of that could be the poor gut health. Okay, anybody has a metabolic disorder, gut health. Anybody has a poor thyroid. Of course, you can ask questions and we can try to connect the dots, but largely autoimmune problems, chronic problems, metabolic disorders, this is where the starting could be. 90% of serotonin is synthesized in the gut microbiome, and gut microbiome regulates your inflammation, regulates your hormones, regulates your mitochondria. The mitochondria, evolutionary perspective, it is a bacterial cell. Now, health of the microbiome can decide the health of the mitochondria, because this is a bacteria, this is also a bacterial cell. Antibiotic doesn't only kill the microbiome, it can kill your mitochondria also. The diabetologist may not say that or may not know it, but antibiotics, 40% of the chronic antibiotic users will develop diabetes very soon, because antibiotics killing their mitochondria. It helps to detox, and it also helps to maintain our metabolic flexibility. So any problem you want to look at here, even though the patient don't have symptoms. If a person comes to you with hypothyroidism, you want to look at the gut. Symptoms are not there, you want to test them. Something you will find there, most likely. Okay? Even we don't have a clear indication of the problem. Or the person is not willing to open up. Then dig deeper, ask more questions. We'll have everybody, something is there. Okay? So this chaos in the gut can lead to multi-system problem, which is your brain, skin, immunity, energy, sexual drive. Any problem, something is there which is not right.
Now, kind of a setup where we have, we treat more lifestyle related diseases, which is something similar. So, do you think it will be an ideal if you do a separate assessment for the gut health? See, when you are in a consultation, you tend to ask many questions. that is the first level of interaction which you have personally one-to-one. Now, over a period of time, do you recommend kind of a setup? You do a proper separate assessment for the gut health, maybe in second day.
I can give you a questionnaire, sir, which we can deploy for all the, to ask all system-based questions. Gut questions should be there for every patient. Yes, based on how much time a doctor has, second day, first day, that we can blood, we should dig that.
So that at least that information can go to
Yes.
the primary physician.
Yes.
So with regard to the gut health, this is where he stands.
Yes.
Then probably they will be able to better inform so that the next day will be
Correct. Yes.
a focused evaluation happens at certain level.
Yeah.
Other than the primary consultation.
Correct.
How you do it in your clinic, example?
Correct, sir.
If you have a migraine patient,
So,
you take multiple sessions or you complete everything in one session?
So, for me, the process goes like that. A patient comes to me, I first do a discovery call, help them understand, connect the dots. If they have migraine, I help them understand what are the possibilities the migraine could be happening. Is their gut not okay, causing migraine? Is there autoimmunity causing migraine? Is low magnesium causing migraine? All of that. I just set the context to them. Then I say, run these tests, which is again gut-based test, nutrition-based test, metabolic-based test, and I send them a Google form. I capture all symptoms from head to toe. Is there any dandruff? Is there any ear canal itching? Is there any athlete foot? Is there any lighting they cannot handle? Things like that. So, is there any bloating after meal? Is there any constipation? Is there any lot of gas? Whatever. I capture all the possibility, system approach. I capture all the system information. Then I take the test. I take the information from the symptoms. Then I decide these are the possibilities that could be wrong in the body. Then even the migraine is the only primary problem, I still want to look at the whole system and all possible problems.
You address all those 7 areas which you...
Sorry, sir?
You wanted to address all those 7 areas which you are...
Yes, sir. All the time.
But basically not a one session, it is a multiple session.
Yes. So we do over a period of time. Anybody comes to us, minimum we work with them with 3 months. 3 months is we ask them to some extent in 3 months. But if a real autoimmunity correction has to happen 9 months, 1 year. Again, gut can cause chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, autism, psoriasis, urticaria, arthritis, skin PCOS. All of them could have a link to the migraines, to some problem with the gut. Okay, so you anyways want to look at it, any case that comes to us. Next. Now, microbiome is important, gut health is important. In there, let's say you take a cross section of the intestine. Okay, in the center or the periphery of the center, around the center, you will have this microbiome. Then there's a mucous lining. Then comes the epithelial barrier. Then comes the immune lining. Then comes your enteric nervous system. So from center to periphery towards the intestine, this is the lining that you will have in the gut. Now, microbiome goes bad, the mucus goes bad, then you break the epithelial lining, then the systemic problems start where you start triggering the immune layer. Okay, so anybody with an autoimmune problem, most likely this epithelial barrier is broken and most likely leaky gut is there. Thereby the content of the gut is coming in touch with the immune layer. And of course the enteric nervous system takes, then the gut brain axis is also impacted. Okay, so anybody with these problems you want to look at it, right?
Now, this one mainly the autoimmune conditions. We see generally when emotional trauma or death of anything happens. When the person is good today, how the 3 years can go suddenly will start getting autoimmune?
Yes, one possibility. Of course, there could be multiple possibilities that I typically see. Somebody has gone through.
What we see here, some
Correct.
Suppose that they develop this.
Correct. Now, one of the possibility, when somebody is under tremendous stress of any sort, their immune system gets compromised, their digestion gets compromised. If I don't digest my food well, or I don't eat the right time, my microbiome starts shifting. If I eat too much of a carbohydrate, my microbiome will build more fungi. If I eat after sunset, my microbiome will change to process the food. I have undigested food in my gut. Body has to process it. Microbiome will shift into a more pathogenic microbiome. One possibility. Second possibility, stress will lead to poor immune system. Immune gets compromised. When immune system gets compromised, infections will grow. So, your microbiome is controlling your immune system and immune system is controlling your microbiome, both sides. If I go through a traumatic experience of any sort, my immune system is compromised, infections will grow, I will have dysbiosis. This will break the barriers, then triggering the cascade of the autoimmune problem. Okay. Now, this is something called, in migraine, you will see somebody is seeing a halo around their lighting and all that. Now, this is called sensory load. I have touch, I can see, I can hear, I can taste. All these are senses taking information to my brain. Okay. If I have bad microbiome in my gut, one of the microbiome, bad pathogenic one could be Clostridia infection or a parasite infection, which is making more serotonin, which is causing more IBS like diarrhea. Now, serotonin will shunt into tryptamine and tryptamine will cause more excitation of the brain, and the receptors which controls the sensory load will get dysregulated. Then loads of information, unwanted information going to the brain cortex. Then the person will have migraine, pain. They cannot handle lights, they cannot handle loud music. Okay. So, a change in the microbiome, change in the biochemicals, change in the neurotransmitters, and the person will develop migraine. So, the starting could be here. An autistic child has sensory issues. Here is the problem. Okay. So, sometimes, if you ponder on things as you practice, you keep doing your practice, you keep seeing different cases. Some cases we know the answer, some cases we don't know the answer. When we don't know the answer, I want you to Google it, I want to ChatGPT, ask for the possibilities behind it. Keep asking till you get the right answer. ChatGPT can throw all nonsense, Google can throw all nonsense, but you keep asking, and you will at some point connect, and let your consciousness also help you, guide you. When we don't know anything, we have to rely on the Supreme. So, let the Supreme guide us when we don't know. Okay. So, these are the layers of the microbiome, and generally the leaky gut will happen when the microbiome shifts to a dysbiotic. There is more fungi, there is more parasites, there is more pathogenic microbes are there. This is where a gut microbiome testing can be useful. Next, Louis. Well, we understood that this gut brain axis, one of the thing is the vagal nerve. The things which are produced in the gut can go to the brain by the vagal nerve. Now, if things are badly produced, the unwanted things are produced in the gut, they can all travel through the enteric nervous system to the brain. Thereby, it can disrupt your neurotransmitter balance. Okay? So, this is how the second brain is your gut, which is controlling the digestive ability, but also controlling the brain mind connection. Okay. Next. So, typically anybody with the more sympathetic drive and less parasympathetic drive, their digestion will be bad, motility will be bad. Okay. Lot of time anybody under stressful period, the constipation persist. Stressful periods, digestion will not happen, GERD will happen. Okay. Stressful periods, they will have diarrhea. Okay. So, if we have to heal the gut, one possibility that we must explore is bringing the patient to a parasympathetic tone. Do all the basic grounding, humming, om, basics. Okay. Because at the end of the day, this is important. We may do microbiome, we may do all kind of fancy science. If this is not fixed, it's not going to work. Okay. So, we as healers, we have to burn ourselves to help them. Okay. It's not a prescription, it's a energy exchange also we do. We take their problems and we give ourselves to them. So, in Munna Bhai MBBS, the doctor says, so you cannot emotionally connect. Without emotions, we cannot heal. We have to connect with them. We have to understand their problem. We have to keep our feet in their shoes and try to heal. So, this is empathy as practitioners. Sometimes there are people who don't know any medical science. They just say, this keep their hand on their head and the problem is sorted. It's empathy which heals. Right? Rest of the circus we do anyway. Okay, Ruhi? So, this is the basic that you want to. Now, this just I explain you, one of the urticaria can happen because of cytokine signaling. Okay. Now, infection is there, infection making toxins, toxin triggering the mast cells, producing more cytokines and histamine, thereby all sort of problems can happen. Okay. There could be excitability, there could be itching in the body, there could be running mind. The mind cannot sleep. The people you will see, they're sleeping, but their thoughts are just floating in there. Okay. Because of the biochemical signaling which triggers from the gut. So, if we want to help them sleep better, we want to make sure the gut is getting better. Okay. And eventually, chronic inflammation starting from the gut can lead to neuroinflammation, and eventually metabolic activity of the brain will become poor, brain capacity will become poor, and depression. And depression is the beginning of the problem, then eventually dementias, then eventually schizophrenias and Parkinsonisms, all of that. Ultimately, anybody with the brain problem, neurodegeneration, gut brain, that gut is one starting point. Somebody may have a problem for 20 years and they develop some schizophrenia at some point. Okay. Again, this is the key. If we have to resolve their problems, help their, slowing their problems, we have to make sure we're looking at the gut. Okay. They may have come to us with a brain problem. Next. LPS is lipopolysaccharide, sir. Yeah. Well, okay. Now, LPS is a lipopolysaccharide. Leaky gut may be there, may not be there. It can still pass through. It can still be detected in the blood. But usually when things are very bad, amount is heavy, then leaky gut will be there. But leaky gut may happen, may not happen. Next. Okay. Now, what are the things which potentially can go wrong in a patient with digestive disorder? Okay. Or what are the things we should be doing to help the patient? First is the digestive fire. The acid in the stomach is not enough. Not enough. Anybody with a reflux, the acid may not be enough. We will discuss in more detail. The enzyme the pancreas is producing or their body's digestive system is producing, trypsin, chymotrypsin, they not be enough. The bile not be enough. So, one of the possibility, any sort of indigestion, enzymes, the fire, the acid is not enough. Second is the dysbiosis, which is infections. Now, it can be a bacterial infection, it can be fungal, it can be parasitic, different kind of, doesn't matter. We just need to know that this possibility is there, and if you want to dig more deeper, we can do a microbiome testing and find out which infections are there. Then these infections lead to a mucosal injury. the lining of the gut start getting eroded. It's just like a water tank with some fungus into it. It erodes the wall of the wall. Then it starts leaking out. Then toxins from the gut will start floating into the blood. We call it endotoxins or xenobiotics, unwanted things which are acting like hormones. Okay, a female after menopause has a bulky uterus. Now, there's hardly any estrogen produced, hardly any progesterone produced because ovulation is not happening, but still she has a bulky uterus because the xenobiotics, one of the xenobiotic could be the fungal metabolites of the fungal infection, which can mimic like estrogen, which can act like estrogen, and the uterus can still become bulky. Okay. So, infection in the gut can increase estrogen dominance, thereby the periods can become bad, infertility can happen, and post menopause uterus may become thick, and doctors say let us take it out. Well, it is easy to take it out, but why it is happening, right? Then eventually it starts dysregulating our autonomic nervous system, motility, hormones. So, a problem in the gut because of some of these things, and eventually a systemic manifestation will start happening. Okay, next. Now, GERD. I want to understand reflux, gastroesophageal reflux. Why do we develop that? What are the possibilities? Low stomach acid. Sphincter is weak. Okay. What else? And two weeks back, I was in Tata Memorial, Mumbai. I had a set of gastro doctors sitting in front of me, and I was trying to explain this, and they are looking at each other. Oh my God, what is he saying? Low stomach acid causing GERD. Well, so low stomach acid leading to low sphincter tone. When the stomach acid is low, the upper sphincter does not close down well, and the reflux can happen. What else? Paresis. Okay. If the things are moving down, what is causing the paresis?
The narrow lining might be.
Well, that is a very late standing problem, but generally you may not see in the younger population. Later, yes. What else? What else? Reflux. Low motility, yes. But what is causing that low motility? Sorry?
Low gastric enzymes.
Low stomach acid, fine. Low enzymes, yes. Short chain fatty acids? Yeah, microbiome is bad, yes. The major part of the problem is SIBO. Now, abdominal cavity has limited volume. Okay. Now, you have stomach sitting there, intestine sitting there. If a person has SIBO, C4, which is causing the fermentation of the food, which is increasing the gas production, which is increasing the pressure in the abdominal cavity, there is less space for the stomach to hold. Okay. So, infections in the small intestine, we call it SIBO, C4, leading to upward pressure onto the stomach, leading to reflux. Okay. Low stomach acid, definitely. Low stomach acid can lead to SIBO, C4, and persisting SIBO, C4 can cause reflux. Okay. So, what is that we have to do for the reflux? If somebody comes to us with a reflux, what is that we have to do? Eliminate the diet which is troubling. Next. Treat the infection. What are we going to do about it? How are we going to approach that?
Sugar is the main cause basically. So that is what
low carb. ठीक है. See, sometimes not feeding the microbes with a low carb diet, low sugar diet, it reduces the load. Fantastic. But sometimes it doesn't. Then you have to go find which ones are there, which microbes are there. Then you start bombarding them with the herbals or pharmaceuticals and probiotics. Okay. So depending on what are we convenient with, what is our preference. Sometimes infection may be very tough, it may take time, but based on this, but at least we can draw a map to a patient. We do a microbiome testing, we find out your GERD is because of SIBO C4 and these are the microbes which are causing your fermentation, which are increasing the abdominal pressure, which is putting the pressure and leading to the reflux. Okay. So today people who come to us, they have money is not a problem for them. They want a solution and these are all logical people. IT people, no? Logic. They want a logic or coding. You want to give them a map. This is your problem. These are the possibilities and these are the tests that are defining your problem and this is my action plan to solve it. If you put them on a concrete paper, tell them these are the possibilities, this is how I'm going to, the mind accepts it better. Now if you say low stomach acid is the only problem, I give you betaine HCl, they may accept, may not accept. But if we give them a complete information about it, then it becomes a good possibility. Any questions on this? How do we know? Testing. See, these are tricky. Anybody with a long-standing GERD, typically bacteria, fungal will persist together. Most likely they're together. But how do we know? We can test. Else is more like a clinical judgment.
People are not willing to do the test.
Then clinically you make a call. Let's say, what are the antimicrobials naturally we can use? Giloy, neem, turmeric, tulsi. But we have to use high dose so that it becomes antimicrobials. Sometimes it gives you fantastic results. In some cases may not because the infection is very tough. You have to be more specific with the pharmaceuticals. First approach I take with the herbals. If herbals are not enough, then I start pharmaceuticals. But I don't do pharmaceutical randomly. I want to know which microbe I am targeting. Then I want to do a pharmaceutical. So I want all of us has an open mind to it. If we have to do, at the end of the day, for us, what is important? Patient wellness. Patient should get better. Whether I use naturopathy, Ayurveda, homeo or allo. Allo is the last thing, but still I can use the tools. What is my problem? My patient should get better, right? So I just need to have an open mind to it. That's all.
Before going to pharma, like herbal or supplement, what you're talking about, is there any specific duration where you can expect some sort of differences? If so, what exactly?
Typically, let's say somebody is suffering from GERD for, let's say, 2 years. 1 month of treatment should pull them out of it. But somebody suffering for 10 years, probably they need 6 months of treatment. Now, how do I know infection is gone? What is my objective? One is clinically, the GERD is settled, but infection is still there or not there. I have to repeat the test. Objectification is also important. Okay. So depends on how chronic is the problem. It may take 3 months, it may take 6 months, it take longer also. But symptomatically, see, disease will start or the problem will start, then manifestation will start. When we are solving it, first the manifestation will solve, then the disease may be there, may not be there, depends on, we have to. So infections, chronic infection can take years also. Something we have to keep in mind. A lot of time what happens, we do some treatment, patient is better, we pull off the treatment. Disease comes back, symptoms come back. So you have to make sure you go till the balance is balanced. The microbiome has gone to a better place. As per objective testing, infections are eradicated. Lot of time allopath says, oh, rifaximin 2 weeks, this antibiotic 1 week, this antifungal 3 days, may not be enough. You may have to do a longer period of time. That is why when we do half treatment, resistance will come. This is very critical, very, very practical. So, symptoms are taken care, problem is still persisting. You don't want to stop. You want to go on. Okay. So, low stomach acid, one possibility of GERD, untimely opening of the lower sphincter because of low stomach acid, increased intra-abdominal pressure which can cause reflux, and that increased intra-abdominal pressure because of the bacterial overgrowth, fungal overgrowth, and because of the poor digestion of the carbohydrates which can cause more fermentation. So, a lot of time GERD treat that infection. Questions? Yes. Low stomach acid itself is a predisposition to infections. Okay. So, okay. Yes, your question first.
No, I was just asking, in terms of symptom-wise and test-wise, there should be in between where you can analyze how long or what is the next call, at least in, no?
So, your question is, when do we repeat the test?
Not like exactly repetition of test, but an analysis that we can, like, clinical judgment that we can look into. Apart from the test and apart from the symptoms, do we have anything that, we can assume or something?
No sure where the right line of
Yeah. Say for example,
Either symptoms will guide you or test will guide you. These are two things I understand. Beyond that, I don't know if anything else is
no,
there.
symptoms are down, but the root cause is not done. But how can you, test is ahead, but in between if you are, how can you keep that sort of analysis thing?
Well, very tricky, I don't know. We may have to be very intuitive for that. Objectively, test is only way to have a good decision making. See, we have two guidance only, either symptoms, diagnosis, or the test. As practitioners, we have, I think from allopathy side, I only understand these two things. But if you have anything else as a clue that...
Just keeping it more simplified, I have a patient, I have given so and so. Unfortunately or fortunately, within 4-5 days, the symptoms started getting down. The test so and so is to be conducted for so and so week. But now, when the symptom is down, should I forcefully continue the supplementation till the next test, or should I take the test earlier? How will I be able to take call on this?
Okay, now first is when you're dealing with a chronic problem, don't expect the problem will go in a short period. It's not a fever, viral fever that it can go, it can get settled in 7 days or 10 days. Chronic problem, it will take some time. Okay, so usually I repeat the test after 3 months. Okay. Now, whether to continue with the supplements or not. Now, I'm saying our goal is not to suppress the symptoms or fix the symptoms only. Our goal is to look at the problem and solve the problem also. Now, if infection is my problem, how do we know objectively that infection is persisting? CBC lymphocytes are high. CBC lymphocytes are high, infection is persisting. ESR is high, infection is persisting. LDL is high, infection is persisting. CRP is high, infection is persisting. Okay? Or microbiome testing or metabolite testing will tell you that infection is persisting. You still has to treat it. Else we are doing a half job. Well, I may not have answered your question as you wanted, but this is what I understand. Okay, now we have to improve the stomach acid. What are the things that you want to do to improve the stomach acid?
Basically, we use apple cider.
Apple cider. Okay.
And certain herbs we will use.
Okay. Well, probiotic may not initially improve the stomach acid. It may help with the infections, and infection control may indirectly improve the stomach acid. So, stomach acid is hydrochloric acid. it needs enough sodium. That means enough salt is important. If salt is low, the stomach acid can be low. It's very important. Okay. Stress can reduce stomach acid. So you can use techniques to reduce the stress thereby. Eating under sun. When the sun comes up, we eat. When the sun goes down, we stop eating. Okay. Third, of course, you can use apple cider vinegar diluted. Now the tricky part. Some people feel better when only GERD is present. If only reflux is there, you feed them some acidity, they feel better. But if they have gastritis, the lining of the stomach is broken, okay, and we feed them any stomach acid, they will have pain. So apple cider vinegar is a good test.
We usually do baking soda before eating apple cider.
Correct. So in case lining is broken, you first want to heal the lining. Okay? And in healing the lining, there is a peptide called carnosine, zinc carnosine. Zinc carnosine is a beautiful peptide which can signal the body to heal the lining. Gastritis we can solve with that. Along with, of course, aloe vera, amino acids, we have to feed enough amino acids to it. Aloe vera can be very, very useful, mastigan can be very, very useful. But zinc carnosine can be a very, very potent peptide for it. Okay. Now you improve the stomach acid, well and good. Herbs you can use betaine SCl also. Sometimes apple cider vinegar, you have to take a straw, else it can erode the enamel of the teeth. Now only thing is sometimes when SIBO is heavy, apple cider vinegar can trigger histamine release because it is fermented, it has mother into it, some part of mother into it, some bacteria into it. So then betaine SCl as a supplement you can use also.
How much mg or some particular mg is there to give how?
Betaine SCl. Well, 500 mg to start with 500 mg and slowly increase till they start feeling a burn. Let's say I start with one capsule of betaine SCl which is 500 mg with one meal. I'm better, but I'm not feeling a burn. Then I make it 2. I still don't feel a burn. I make it 3, 4, 5, 6 till I feel a burn. When I feel a burn, that is my limit of betaine SCl. So enough stomach acid itself for some time will clean the infections and improve the digestibility. Then slowly you can bring it down. Because enzyme production is a very costly affair in the body. When metabolism is low, nutrition is low, enzyme production itself becomes compromised. So you need to support the body before it is running its own. Okay? Now we have bacterial overgrowth or fungal overgrowth. What are we going to do about it? What are the possibilities? What you would do or you are currently doing about it? For the bacterial growth, well, microbiome testing is good enough to start with. There is something called breath test. Breath test can say whether SIBO is there or not there, which kind of SIBO, but it doesn't say which microbe is there. So microbiome testing or metabolite testing is good to start.
Zinc carnosine you told, but how to take it?
Well, typically 40 mg to 80 mg of zinc carnosine. 40 mg to 80 mg. Some the different formulas are available that we can give empty stomach. Any peptide you give in the morning or at night. It is a good peptide to heal. It's good for the skin also. Okay. And if this lot of fermentation is happening, you can use carb digesting enzymes also. A patient says, I cannot be low on white rice. I still has to eat my white rice. What do? You do fungal dietase. There's something called unizyme. You add unizyme to their meals also. The carbs will digest better. When the food is digested better, then it's less fermented. Then less fermented means less bloating, less reflux possibly. Okay, questions on the GERD? Is everybody on the same page? Or feeling bored, tired, low energy? Unizyme. Well, one tablet, I don't know how much units are there. One tablet Unizyme, start with that. Necessary 2 more than enough. So with meal we can give the enzymes, so digest carb. The reflux will reduce.
What is that?
Fungal dietase. It's a carb digesting enzyme, fungal dietase. You can? Fasting for what? Okay, it's an interesting one. If we keep somebody on fasting with a digestive disorder, if we rest the stomach, what will happen? Healing will happen. Okay, a lot of time, few people may have a die-off reaction. Now, when you don't feed the person, infection will die. Indirectly, you don't feed the person, infections will die, and they may have some trouble. They may have more gas. Not because we are not feeding them, because infections are dying. Give them a cetirizine or Eno, relieve their symptoms. Fasting is the best way to heal the digestive system. My stomach lining is broken, I have gastritis. Every time I eat, my stomach will make acid and it will further increase my gastritis. What is the best way? I put on a fast. Best way. But some people may have a trouble. Because infections are too many, they start dying off. Give them an antihistamine. Okay. Keep them on a juice diet, so that little is going on. But fasting is the best way for any digestive disorder. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. More you do, better it is. Okay.
So what is your opinion on carbo-based? I have heard about it. It's a homeopathic supplement.
It's good. Homeopathy is a different science altogether, but it's useful.
But it doesn't come in functional medicine.
No.
Some certain they use.
No, that's what I'm saying. I am trying to explain the reasons in functional medicine. For solutioning part, if you know homeo, you want to use it. But homeo mechanisms are totally different. Homeo is another very deep science. I don't understand it. At least, okay, now a patient has come to you for 7 days. Post that, at least make a plan for 3 months. And then after that, you ask them to repeat the test and see where they are. Because we'll discuss. But on the pathophysiology part of the GERD, are we okay? Good? Next, Louis. Okay. Now, low stomach acid can lead to SIBO, fungal overgrowth. H. pylori can do a barrier damage and cause dysmotility. And overuse of the PPI, the low acid lowering drugs, also very, very damaging, which can shift the microbiome and cause more infection. So anybody with history of PPIs for GERD, they will have lot of infections already. Okay. So PPIs is one of the reasons they develop a lot of autoimmune problems. they develop brain disorders. PPIs is a big problem. Acid lowering drugs is a big problem. So anybody coming to us with acid lowering drugs, if they are on, slowly we put them on enzymes and we help them come out of it. And we need to explain them why. Okay. So betaine HCl 200 mg to 600 mg and zinc carnosine 40 to 80 mg, 75 is what written here, plus DGL, ginger, melatonin as an antioxidant and help them sleep better, so that stress is reduced, stomach acid goes up. Okay. Ginger can help with the stomach acid production. Anyways, you don't write anything, you will have the PPT with you. Okay. Ask the questions, whatever your questions are, please ask those questions. Making sense? Carnosine is a very beautiful peptide, 2 amino acids only. It's only 2 amino acid peptide. Not only healing the gut lining, it can help the brain also. If anybody with the dementia, this peptide can be very, very potent. Next.
So how long we can see the improvement? So basically if they are taking the supplement for 15 days, we can
3 months.
3 months continuously have
Yeah.
little improvement also we won't find in 1 month.
No, we'll find, no. See, no. See, what I'm saying is, we just don't have to solve the symptoms, we have to solve the problem also. Symptom will start appearing when 60-70% of the problem is exacerbated. 70% of the organ damage has happened. Then symptoms will happen.
How they are seeing difference I'm asking. In 15 days whether they
They will see. Most people will start seeing betterment, but some may have a lot of problems. Somebody comes to me with 30 years of problem. I cannot expect 1 month, 3 months, I give them a symptomatic relief also. But somebody is only having a problem for last 10 days or 2 weeks or 6 months. 2 weeks is enough for me to make them symptomatic free, as long as they follow it. But that doesn't mean that I've solved the problem. Okay? So, the gallbladder stasis is happening because of the poor bile flow and leading to fat intolerances. And one of the trigger is low fat diet. So we need to ensure there is enough fat into that. And also sometimes when pancreas is not sufficiently producing the enzymes, somebody can have gas after fatty foods. Floating stools. Now if a symptom is there, gas after fatty food or a floating stools, that means fat is not getting digested. Of course you have to fix the gallbladder and all that, but you can give them a bile acids as a supplement to help them digest, or you can give them a pancreatic enzymes to make them symptomatic relief. Till you fix the pancreas, you fix the juices, bile and all that. Okay. Ox bile can be useful and pancreatic enzymes can be useful. In the market there is an enzyme called Creon, C-R-E-O-N, Creon, which is pancreatic enzymes. If the patient is having gas after fatty foods and floating stools, maybe fat is not getting digested because of these problems. Taurine will help, choline will help, bitter herbs will help. Okay? So you can use ginger, you can use eggs for more choline, or any other choline rich food you can use, or you can use choline rich food supplements also. Choline bitartrate. If a patient comes to you with fatty liver plus high triglycerides and high LDL, they possibly have low choline. You feed them choline through a supplementation, their fatty liver will get better, your triglycerides will get better, the LDL also will get better. Taurine will help the gallbladder also with the gallstones. Not very big ones, small ones. Taurine will help with that also. Motility of the gallbladder can be supplements, amino acids. Supplement from 250 mg to 500 mg, you can do that. Questions? So sir? If it is stone is up to 5 mm, we can potentially do a gallbladder flush and remove it. If more than that, it's more tougher. We may use a liver pack with castor oil. We may use lot of enzymes. We may use chelation to slowly dissolve that. Possible but tough. Okay, questions? All good? Or are you feeling tired? You want me to continue? Next. Well, now let's come to next condition, which is called IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. What is causing that irritation? Let's come back to that. What is causing the irritable bowel syndrome? SIBO causing it? Yes. SIFO. Yes. SIPO. Yes. What else is causing the irritation? Stress is causing irritation. Yes. What else? Gluten can cause it. Milk proteins can cause it. Sugar feeding infections can cause it. Carbohydrate rich diet, when infections are already there, it can cause it. Okay. Low stomach acid can cause it. Low bile can cause it. Low pancreatic enzymes can cause it. So, lot of possibilities, but ultimately, if GERD is there, somebody can develop IBS over a period of time. Okay. So, how you solve the GERD? You have to still do it into IBS. Then you look at the changes in the flora, infections, and you treat these infections, and you remove the irritants from the diet, your person will become all right. In, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks, symptoms are pretty much taken care in most cases, and it may take time to fix it completely, to bring them on a normal diet, but symptomatically on a good diet, they may get better in 4-6 weeks. No gluten, no dairy, no sugars. Spicy tolerance, based on tolerance. Most of the time, spicy food is not a problem, except few where tolerance is an issue. So, see, beyond the inflammatory food, you go to the person and ask if spicy food is a problem for you or not. If it is a problem, you put it off. If not a problem, they can continue. IBS is that simple that there is no questions beyond this. All right, next. So, different kind of SIBO. One SIBO is where there is more hydrogen producing microbes are there, which are causing gas and diarrhea. Anybody with the IBS with diarrhea, you can expect that they have a hydrogen dominant SIBO. Anybody with IBS with constipation is the primary issue, then they have a methane producing bacteria leading to that problem. Or anybody with a gas which is rotten like egg smell is there, then you may have a hydrogen sulfide producing bacteria could be there. So, infection is the invariably a problem. Now, it does not matter. For me, either diarrhea or alternating or constipation is fine. What is that I have to do? Look at the infection. I can test for the infection and fix it. Or candida overgrowth could also be there. Coating of the tongue could be there in the person, candida could be there, we can look at that. Or sometimes infections can slow down the migrating motor complex also. Motility can go off because infection is there. Okay? And constipation can persist and SIBO can persist. So, you can use some laxatives or prokinetics to ensure motility is maintained when you are cleaning the infections. Well, if worms are there, we do deworming. So, depends on what is there. Okay. So, we can use neem, we can use berberine, we can use oregano oil, we can use castor oil, And of course, prokinetics, ginger is natural prokinetic, prucalopride is a pharmaceutical this thing. So, depending on the severity, if your ginger is doing a job, fantastic, you do not have to worry. But ginger is not doing your job, patient is constipated severely, what do? You can bring prucalopride 1 mg to help them relieve their constipation, and you continue working on the infections. If constipation will persist, infection will never get better. Or you use some laxative, castor oil, whatever we are doing, at the end of the day, if you are working on that, you need to make sure the person is passing motions every day. Questions? Thoughts, comments, or contradictions? You don't like it, it's fine. Sorry, sir. That's a natural, sir. Natural motility. Somebody says the TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, they mapped it out. Certain excretion processes are happening in the morning itself. The bloating. Well, sir, somebody has diarrhea in the morning, fine. It is anyways excretion time, but because infection has increased the motility, they will have more problems in this. Again, infection is the problem. Then food will have irritants. Either a food has irritation which is causing the motions after the meal, or food which has certain things which are feeding these infections producing the toxins, and that is irritating the gut. Then after meal the person will have, but your fundamental remains same. You remove the inflammatory food, you clean the infection, your patient will get better.
Some days will be there, sir. They will go after the meal.
Huh.
But they don't have any symptoms.
Well, if let's say motion is normal, it's a well formed stool.
And one more thing, usually wherever you go outside, you don't have that issue. If you had in home, you want to pass. Outside is comfortable.
Huh. There are people, we call it shy on the urinary bladder. When they're out, they don't pass urine. When they're inside home, they're comfortable, they keep passing. Well, that could be the mind also playing a trick. There's a peristalsis in the gut. There's in the muscle of the intestine, there's an enteric nervous system which produces peristalsis. The nervous system of the intestine has gone bad. One of the possibility, infections making toxins, causing paralysis of this. Then the motility is reduced. The natural motility is reduced. Okay? How do we increase? Infection is reducing the motility. You clean the infection. Okay? Well, constipation, will have another slide on constipation, we'll go into detail of it. But this is clear? Next, Ruhi. Now, lot of time, the IBS or irritation to the intestine for a long term can turn into bloody intestines, which becomes IBD, and based on the presentation, it can be Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. These are more aggressive problems, but the fundamentals still remain the same. It's the same infections, it's the same food irritants. Okay? So, if somebody comes to us with IBD also, we still have to do the same thing, but it is more aggressive problem. The patient may be on drugs also, the patient may be on immune suppressants also, but you do the same things. You clean the infection, you test the infection, you clean them out, you reduce the inflammatory food, this person will also get better. Otherwise, conventionally, doctors will remove the intestines. Okay, they end up removing the intestines for these guys, but we can fix them just like that. It may take a year and a half. Now, a person comes to us with ulcerative colitis, you reduce the inflammatory diet, you clean some infections, now symptoms are not there. Symptoms are gone, but the intestine may still be inflamed. The persisting problem still may be there. So, complete remission of the problem means when I put a scope in the colon, it's not inflammatory anymore. That is a real remission. When I reintroduce milk products, it should not be that bad. Today, the person takes milk, he has to rush to the washroom. When I fix the problem after 9 months or 1 year, if he drinks the milk, it should be okay. It should not be so bad. That is the real reversal of the problem. Next.
We recently had someone coming to us who had ulcerative colitis and the entire colon was removed for him. And he has a pouch now. But now he has Crohn's disease. His small intestine is impacted. So basically none of the triggers was removed and just an affected part was removed and the problem now has impacted another part. It's a very terrible case for him.
So, IBS long-standing may turn into IBD. Okay. So, these people, one is a motility disturbance, either constipation or loose stools, or they feel lot of pain because of the change in the visceral hypersensitivity. They feel lot of pain. Okay. They have a altered mucosal lining and a altered immune function also. The microbiota is altered. This is the key here. This is where we have to work. Yeast overgrowth in the gut is a very common problem. So is the bacteria overgrowth, which is SIBO. Eventually, that affects the altered sensory nervous system processing, gut-brain axis. Then feelings may be different. The person may be, and something called microbrewery syndrome. Have you heard of something called microbrewery syndrome? You brew your own stuff. You don't have to drink alcohol to make you feel high. You have fungal infections, you take sugar, you make your own alcohol and you feel high. So a lot of people will come to you with a brain fog. They cannot think clearly. Okay? Yes, sir. So brain fog is a very common thing nowadays. Sir. Correct. So now brain fog typically means the brain is not processing well. One is the biochemical imbalance because of the alcohol or ammonia, things like that. One, of course, deficiency of the minerals, which is magnesium, B vitamins, things like that. Next. Now, what is that we have to do for IBD? Okay. Well, this can go for IBS also, but first you want to remove the triggers: gluten, sugars, processed foods, high seed oils which are rich in omega-6, which can be pro-inflammatory, till the point the person is feeling better. So, cooking of the food can be in coconut oil, desi ghee, and work on the stress. Remove the triggers, then start with the basic probiotics. One of the very key probiotics the gut has is Saccharomyces boulardii, Econom. So, anybody with IBS, IBD, you want to use Saccharomyces boulardii, and second one is Bifido species. Now, typically lacto species, Bifido species, and you have Saccharomyces. Okay. If a person is reactive, that means small sugar they have urticaria, small carb they have urticaria or lot of irritation and all that, then you don't want lacto species in them. You want to stick to Saccharomyces or only Bifido species. Okay. Then you want to look at the anti-inflammation. The gut is irritated, it is inflamed, you want to reduce the inflammation. Vitamin D can be very potent as an anti-inflammatory compound. Boswellia is one of the herb that we typically can use anti-inflammatory. Omega-3 2 to 3 grams per day. This is also very, very potent as an anti-inflammatory, but dose is important. One capsule typically will have 500 mg, 600 mg, or triple strength is there, then 900 mg, big capsule, but still we need 2 to 3 grams of it, so that we can really make them feel better. Then curcumin, want to do anti-inflammatory, it's antimicrobial also. Then you want to restore the lining of the gut. Now this can be applied to anybody with gastritis also. Lining of the gut is bad, ulceration is there, stomach has ulcerations. Then glutamine can be very potent for it to seal the leaky gut, seal the ulcers. Butyrate is a desi ghee, which is Bellona method ghee, which is after the fermentation of the milk, will have butyrate, which is a short chain fatty acid, which can be very potent. Then you can use collagen peptides, and you can use zinc carnosine as a beautiful peptide to heal the intestines also, or stomach ulcers also. Questions?
So, when we introduce, it's a challenge currently when we make the supplement stack. It becomes too many things in the list.
Right, sir.
So, people seem to go crazy. You come to a naturopathy center, perception is that we don't give medicine, but for them, supplements are also they perceived because they already come with 15, 10, 15
Yes.
years.
Yes.
So is there any way we can able to stagger it? The phase 1, we focus only on common information. Phase 2, we look at restoring. Phase 3, we focus on rebuilding the.
So generally, sir, technically we can phase out. But let's say somebody with IBD, Crohn's is there, which is a very painful process. Now, first step we want to remove the problem, triggers. Then we will see how much the patient is feeling. Then second step we can look at the modulation of the microbiome. Third, we can look at the restoration. Last is we can look at the inflammation part, because this is causing the inflammation. Because if this is reduced, possibly inflammation will be reduced.
That would be the last.
But because people again want quick,
Yes.
so we may have to stack them, depends on their preference. So of course, like I said, we have to tell them these are the possibilities, this is the play, and this is what we have to do. Next.
You have told curcumin and zinc glutamate. So there is a one more zinc glutamate.
Glutamine.
So that will also helpful for this, right?
Yeah. So zinc is also very good for the immune system. So any inflammatory process you want to modulate the immune system, and zinc is a good one. Next. Rui, next. Okay, now this is for constipation. What are the possibilities behind constipation? Okay. One simple is less fiber is there, constipation can happen. Less water is there, constipation can happen. But low transition can happen because infections are there. If we don't treat the infection, constipation may persist. Infections can lead to enteric nervous system degeneration also. A lot of people with chronic infections, especially Clostridia, will lead to degeneration of the nervous system in the intestines. That can thereby reduce the future problem, motility. Methane producers, bacteria which produces methane, will lead to low transit. Okay? And short chain fatty acids, one of them is butyrate. If butyrate is as per the gut microbiome is low, they will also have low this thing. So you can feed them desi ghee, Bellona method desi ghee or butyric acid, and clean their infections. Okay? Low bile, low digestive enzyme, low stomach acid can also lead to constipation. Okay? Certain medications can cause constipation. Hypothyroidism can cause constipation. If T3 is low, the person may have constipation. Low progesterone can also cause constipation. Before periods, a women will have a bloating. One possibility, there is more fermentation happening. Second possibility of bloating is low transit, poor transit time, because the progesterone has gone down by the time. Okay. So, a female comes to you which is menopausal with a severe constipation and dysbiosis. Now, you want to test their progesterone. In case progesterone is low, you may want to support that. If T3 is low, you may want to support that. See, if basics are working, our job is solved. Why do I worry? You change the diet, you change the lifestyle, you give some probiotic, problem solved. Fantastic. But there are tough cases. You do everything, we still scratch our head. What is happening? This is for those cases. Beyond the basics. Right? A person with long-standing diabetes leading to neuropathy, leading to constipation. Okay. So, start with the basic. Low fiber, hydration, sedentary lifestyle, chronic stress. If this works for you, job done. But then it doesn't work, you want to go up. Okay. Questions? Huh? Low serotonin. Yes, yes. So, the microbes which produces the serotonin is low, thereby constipation pursues. And in case of the diarrhea, there is more serotonin because of the microbiome is imbalanced. There is more infections of different kinds.
But we need to rule out all these conditions while
Sir. Correct, correct. Yes, yes.
checklist.
So, it is like basics are done, you still not getting the results, then you have to scratch your head, what is the next possibility that I need to target. We cannot work on all possibility at a one shot, but I am trying to bring the perspective to you. Okay. If you have to use laxative, it is nothing wrong with it, but then if long standing, we can help them with something natural. Sir. Questions? Questions? Constipation is a very tough scenario. A lot of people suffer and unnecessarily suffer. Questions?
So we also see when they are here, we use colon,
Sir.
edema, and shortly they relieve.
Yeah.
But somehow people will still persist.
Correct.
You know, the 7 days, when we were in the college, our naturopathy rituals for minimum 21 days.
Correct, sir.
If somebody comes for 20 days, they say no. We will not admit 1 day less than.
Yes.
I've seen me refusing. He said that 18 days I have been. Because that was a good duration that people live in a controlled environment.
Correct.
Your diet is high in fibers.
Yeah.
We used to start with fasting, then go to the raw. The majority of time was a raw diet, and last 5 days we have the body cooked.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So when we started here, we used to say that we will have maximum raw diet. We will see hardly anybody using fat.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, sir. People are too occupied with their lives today.
So now 7 days itself is a headache. 7 days we have to stay.
Yes. So, another possibility is, now your intestines is a muscle, and muscle should have enough strength to push out the stool. If the mitochondria is weak in here, then also constipation can persist. Okay, and mitochondria can be B complex is low, zinc is low, magnesium is low, your carnitine is low, Q10 is low. Any possibility, then also mitochondria can become weak and somebody can have a long-standing constipation. So, a diabetic person can have a neuropathy, can simply having a mitochondrial dysfunction, which is causing the diabetes also in the first place. Okay. So, point is, this science is helping us understand the problem better. We don't have to put everything at once, but for difficult cases, layer by layer, we can go to fixing it. Next. So, in terms of solutioning to it, if the stomach acid is low, betaine HCl is there, apple cider vinegar is there, bitter herbs are there. If bile is a problem, ox bile is there. If pancreatic enzymes is a problem, amylase is low, lipase is low, you can use pancreatic enzymes. And then of course, you work on the low fiber, gluten. Gluten can slow down the motility. So anybody with a lot of gluten problems, they can have a slow motility also. Low magnesium can have also poor mitochondria, poor motility. Dairy intolerances can also cause constipation. Okay, and sometimes weak pelvic floor muscle also can cause it. So we can ask them to do some Kegel exercises. And then eventually, if this is the problem, then probably regenerative medicine, peptides can be useful. If nerves are weak, the cerebrolysine which we want to use for our brain, the second brain is the gut, we can use pig brain peptide also to help the nervous system of the intestines and thereby helping them relieve their constipation. Okay. Low vagal tone, somebody is stressed out, they can be constipated. Okay. Releasing their stress can relieve their constipation. Okay. Well, questions? Is it making sense or it's just mumbo jumbos? Is it adding value to all of you? Okay, next. So we can also use magnesium to restore help them as a laxative. Glycinate is okay, or you can use citrate is a better form. Oxide is a better form for constipation. Okay. You can use vitamin C also to relieve constipation as a laxative. Okay. Again, like prebiotics you can use from food, and sometimes you will see some people are reacting to fiber also. Okay. When the microbiome is very bad, they will ferment the fiber, and then fiber rich food can be a problem. Okay. Now you are in a catch. How do I fix it? When I am giving fiber rich food, the person is having more bloating, more trouble. Then you have to clean the infections which is causing the fermentation. And meanwhile, you can use fiber which is easy to digest. Acacia fiber is one of them. Sun fiber is one of them. A fiber is still fed but easy to digest. Isabgol is a tough fiber. It's a tough to digest fiber. But acacia fiber is a easy to digest. When isabgol we cannot use for constipation, we can use acacia fiber or sun fiber. Okay. But same circus, if gut is having some ulcerations, then also constipation can happen. If hemorrhoids are there, constipation can happen. Then you can use butyrate, carnosine, glutamine to heal that ulcerations or problems in the anus. Okay. Then vagal activation, which is you can do breath work, you can do omka, ucharan, things like that. Of course, the diet part, which is important. Okay. So generally you go from 6 to 5 to like that. But this is a tools I am trying to give, because this is you already know. I don't need to tell you, but I need to tell you something beyond what you may helpful for your practice. Questions? Questions? Is all good? Next week. So infections, SIBO, SIFO will lead to this condition called leaky gut. The barriers are now broken. Long-standing constipation, long-standing GERD, long-standing IBS, eventually it will start leading to systemic implications to it. Then somebody starts rheumatoid, somebody starts psoriasis, somebody starts eczema, somebody starts schizophrenia. Now, long-standing gut problems, they develop a condition called leaky gut, leading to systemic outbreak of that. Now, if you have to fix your urticaria, you have to fix your rheumatoid, you first have to do the basics, the gut part. And the one long-standing gut problems, because that leading to, so when this barrier is damaged or inflamed, small particle like bacteria, toxin, chemical molecules are able to leak out of the GI tract into the blood vessels. The content of the blood vessels is filled with the toxins from the GI system, which should be flushed out. Now, this condition is called leaky gut. Okay, increased permeability. Next. Again, this is the lining of the lumen, outer mucous layer, inner mucous layer, and your epithelial. Mucous layer is also very important. This is where the microbiome, probiotical Akkermansia can be very, very potent to build the mucous lining. Your aloe vera can be very, very potent to mucus, for the building of the mucous lining. Okay. So, physical stress can damage the mucosal barrier. Mycotoxins can damage the mucosal barrier. Alcohol can damage the mucosal barrier. Chronic psychological stress also can break the mucosal barrier. So, one of the things that chronic stress leading to autoimmune problem by damaging the mucosal barriers. Next. Then joint pains, rheumatoid arthritis, food sensitivities. Yes, sir. So, it's a layer. There are two layers. For defining purposes, there is a difference in that. So, we mucin 1, mucin 2. It's a mucin lining, but some difference is there. So, huh, sir? No, sir. No, it's a mucin lining, the gut lining. I don't think we are able to test that except the genetic part of it. Now, sugar craving, carb craving because of the systemic implication of leaky gut. Now, food sensitivity, you start with a person, you eliminate 10 foods, eventually they become more and more allergic to different foods, right? And one of the possibility is leaky gut is there. So, leaky gut can lead to more and more food sensitivity. They start with one problem, then second and third, and eventually the food report will come all red. Okay. Why is it that happening? When I was young, my tolerance to different foods is much higher. As I am becoming old, my tolerance is reducing because I am losing my microbiome and losing my lining of the gut. Yes, sir. Yes. So, we have to fix. Can we fix the food allergies? By fixing the leaky gut, you can fix the food allergies also pretty much in a good way. But to fix that, you have to fix the infections and you seal the leaky gut. Then slowly, gradually, we can reintroduce many of these foods. Sorry, eczema, rosacea, psoriasis, leaky gut is there. Hormonal imbalance, infertility, leaky gut is there. Fatigue, leaky gut is there. Food intolerances, arthralgia, autoimmune, leaky gut is there. So, any of these problems you want to link back to the leaky gut and you want to start work there. Next. So, leaky gut can lead to food sensitivities and allergic immune activation. If somebody is allergic to a food, think about leaky gut. We may not fix every problem in the world, but we may have some tolerance built to it. So today somebody's milk they cannot handle, quality and all that. But if I fix the gut, tolerance may improve. Okay? They cannot eat this food, that food, things like that. But you fix the gut, the tolerance will improve. The ability to handle that food will improve. else the life can be very, very restrictive also. So, increased intestinal permeability allows the partially digested food antigens and microbial byproducts to translocate into the epithelial barrier into the lamina, the inner layers of the intestine. These antigens are captured by the dendritic cells, macrophages, initiating T cell activation. Okay. So, because undigested food antigens, the protein of the undigested food, and getting in touch with the immune cells, so reactivity starts. So, this immune activation production, thereby food specific IgG and IgA antibodies start, because leaky gut is there. So, if we have to reduce the number of the food reactivities, antibodies against certain foods, we have to seal the leaky gut. That is a fundamental point here. Okay, questions?
This activation is primarily happens within the intestinal cells.
Yes, sir.
These food particles, what you talk about, example, food sensitivity, the particle is not in the bloodstream as such.
It's almost in the bloodstream, sir.
It is almost in the bloodstream.
Huh.
That's where the
Yes. So 70% of the immune cells are lining the gut. They're trying to see what is us and what is not us. If food antigens, the food should be broken down properly, digested properly, and the protein should be broken down properly, ideally. Now, either it is not getting digested, or because the barriers are broken, then these particles get in touch with the immune system. Then antibodies are formed.
So that's where the immune reaction.
Correct, sir. Yes.
So that's why we have the X amount of food sensitive. We withdraw it from the food, so that would help us to.
Correct. Symptoms are getting.
Once for a short time we have
Yes.
saved from those
Correct, sir.
reactions. The stress on the immune system is slowly goes down.
Correct.
So it makes our life easy
Yes.
to address the rest of the
Correct, sir.
situation while we are fighting for the.
Correct, sir. Exactly. So, removing the foods which are positive on a sensitivity, food sensitivity will calm the system down, which help the person feel better. But it's again a half-baked solution.
Question is everybody, no, I've been drinking still, I don't have any reaction for a milk, why should I withdraw? It's commonest.
Yes, sir. So, if somebody has an autoimmune problem, okay, they may not have a straight away reaction to the food, but the immune system getting triggered. So, if autoimmunity or systemic inflammation is there, then directly by symptom mechanism or indirectly by activating the immune system and leading other problems, this food is causing issues. But the patient may not have a direct inference of that. So, that is what we have to keep explaining them. Huh.
When, say for example, I'm sensitive to wheat. Wheat antigen IgG is greater in the bloodstream through the leaking. When it is more and more, our pharmacist cannot remove. Then what will happen? Antigen antibody complex will form. Instead, we will get.
Correct.
See, what we have to say first, repair the leaking gut, then what
We can fix some of these things. Yes. Yes.
So the leaking gut is the major.
Correct, sir. Correct.
Once leaking gut is removed, simultaneously if you do the which are entering the bloodstream, it can be reversed.
Reverse. Yes. So, a lot of time you fix the gut, food sensitivities can be reduced pretty much to a good extent. Sir. But in the microbiome report, first thing we have to fix the infections. So, a lot of people in the commercial this thing, they are doing a microbiome testing, and they're testing these are the missing microbes. I give you a probiotic for it.
See, what we do in microbiome, we do face-to-face. Okay? In phase 1, if we do this sensitivity eliminated in the first part. See, actually what we say, IgG has got a half shelf life of 28 days. For example, if we stop eating that particular IgG for 28 days, everything will be removed from the body. So
Yeah.
in the phase 1, if we remove which are already pure sensitive, and then in the phase 2 only we give all probiotic and all of that.
No, sir, I am saying in a microbiome report, the two information we get. One is infections, one is missing microbes for a healthy probiotic. Okay. In the missing microbes, I'm just trying to puncture holes in the microbiome report. Okay. I'm a devil's advocate, I'm now. They're only saying lacto and bifido species and which ones are missing. Now the key species there in the microbiome, you have lacto, bifido, asboladi, then you have butyrate producers, and one of them is Clostridium butyricum. Okay. They don't test the key species here, first of all, which ones are missing. And they may, Akkermansia for example, these are the key species there, but they're primary still working on this part. But why this is low or this is low is because infections are growing. If I have to increase these ones, I have to reduce the infections. If I don't reduce infection, this will not improve. But commercial companies, they're just giving this combination. They don't look at this, and they don't look at this. That is why sustainability of results is not coming.
Sometimes, once we finish this course, I think probably if we can spend some time and we pick up some of the gut integrity reports
Yes, sir.
to how to interpret. We are facing a challenge. We're doing the test. I mean, right now we are dependent on learning workspace.
Yeah.
So at least you can help us
Yeah, yes, sir.
segregate
Yes.
and give a little insights
Done, sir, done.
on how we can read those.
That's it. Well, definitely, sir. I'm trying to build the base of it. Slowly, gradually, we'll cover a few diseases. Then we will become more case oriented. Well, next, sir. Is everybody okay? Or you?
Yeah, I think the first paragraph is fine and so good.
Next, sir. Huh. So sometimes certain, for example, now in the sensitivity testing, wheat will get broken into 32 peptides or maybe more peptides, and one of the peptide is gliadin or gluten or a few more. But in the test report, we are only testing few of them. We may not test all the peptides the gluten may break into, and the false negative report may come. Patient may actually be reacting to wheat, but we are only testing for gluten or gliadin. We are not testing to other peptides. The report may come false negative.
So now is the better markers are better choice of option or better testing.
Food allergy testing has limitations, is what I am saying.
No, molecular level, how you mentioned the 32 markers, I think last month one of the, say there was some machine
Huh.
FLX E2 something,
Huh.
which will not tell the food, it will tell the biomolecules. How you
Ah.
are the protein.
Correct.
Protein based criteria.
Huh. So depends on are they completing the whole sequence or not.
Yes, yes, yes.
Then fine. So I'm saying a lot of time food allergies testing may not be thorough enough.
It is not a traditional way of testing. It's
Huh.
an Alex 2, the machine,
Okay.
which they are actually going on the molecular basis rather than food choices.
Fair point. Fair point. That is happening. That's good.
And also after that, they are giving the intervention also.
Huh.
The immunotherapy is required, or food we have to avoid, or completely you have to stop. The intervention also is going to tell.
Correct. So well, only thing is we have to clinically validate this. One, lot of time these companies they work in isolation most of the time. They make a device, their technology, and they put into market. A researcher believes that way, and they're building the science around it. As a practitioner, we have to validate these technologies. What they're saying is really being on the ground or not is the question. When you really see, for example, I work with autism. Neuroinflammation is a big problem, okay, and wheat could be a problem. But when they bring a test and they say wheat is not a problem to the test. But they may not have looked at the entire sequence of the wheat molecules into there. So I say whether you have a problem in the test or no, I don't want gluten or wheat till I fix your autoimmunity. Till your ANA is less than 20, I don't want you to touch wheat. So that way, clinicians, as a clinicians, we have to put our foot down and say, this is what I want to do. Test is okay, I can follow. Test is only a guidance. Test is never absolute. We cannot say test is positive or negative, this is how it should be. No. Lot of time microbiome test comes positive, it's no problem.
Today we are over-dependent on the test.
Sir.
Because of that, our clinical inference is gone down.
Correct, sir. Exactly. First, we are clinicians. It's a guidance for us, not absolute. If the test is negative, but I see a problem in the patient, I still go ahead and treat it.
We do normal physical examination. Physical examination, not consultation.
So there is a concept of molecular mimicry. Okay. Now, the antibody is made against casein protein of the milk. But the similarity of the casein is to the pancreas. Okay. The antibody is made against the casein protein, but start ending up and damaging the pancreas and leading to type 1 diabetes. Okay. Antibody made against gliadin start making antibodies against the thyroid or various organ systems in the body. So, sometimes food molecules, food proteins causing indirect autoimmunity to the system. Okay. So, somebody with autoimmunity, you want to make sure that the food which they are reacting to, you put them off to bring down the antibody number. This is called molecular mimicry. The molecules of your food particles are similar to the food particles in certain organ systems of your body. Antibodies made against this start attacking those organ systems. Children drinking A1 milk develop type 1 diabetes soon. Okay, because of the molecular mimicry. Type 1 diabetes can come. Next, sir. Well, this is something called non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Okay, they may not have a celiac disease, but they still may be reacting to gluten. Okay, the test may still come negative. They still may have systemic problems. So gluten today has become a big problem because of the pesticides, because of the hybridization, because of the antibiotic. Our own microbiome is reduced. Because of the stress, our own microbiome is reduced. So gluten, anybody with autoimmune problem or high inflammatory problem, you want to put the gluten away till they are better. It may take 1 year, it may take 1.5 years. Don't reintroduce till the antibody are down, till the patient is normal. Okay. So indirectly, it still may be causing the immune reactivity. It may not have a celiac-like problems. Generally, celiacs, you take gluten, they have diarrhea, bloating, all that. But they may, people with non-celiac gluten sensitivity may not have symptoms of the gut, but they have inflammatory problems. Gluten may increase LDL also. Gluten may increase triglycerides also. Gluten may cause non-alcoholic fatty liver also. Fatty liver doesn't mean fat is causing a problem. It's an inflamed liver. Liver has become more bigger because of the inflammation. Any organ, you hit my arm, it will become bigger. Inflammation is causing the liver to be bigger. So reduce the triggers which are causing the inflammation. Next step. Okay, so this is some of the mechanisms how it can, but practically we don't, it is for the theory part, practically we just have to put it off, as simple as that. Next. So now, again I am trying to summarize, okay. Underlying issues in the gut problems, be it GERD, be it IBS, be it IBD or leaky gut, Overgrowth is one big problem of infections. Dysbiosis leading to leaky gut, and these infections can be bacterial, can be parasitic, can be fungal, H. pylori, can be protozoa, can also candida, clostridia. So infection can be of multiple kind. Okay. If a patient comes to you, first you do herbals and see the patient response. IBS gets better, GERD gets better, don't worry, that's job done, we are good to go. But somebody says, oh, my IBS is still there, I am not getting better. Then you have to go pinpoint where is the problem. Then you do a microbiome. In microbiome, you find blastocysts hominis. Then you treat that. Low stomach acid, digestive enzyme production is low, could be a big irritant to the, let's say food sensitivity is positive because food is not broken down properly. I don't chew it well, I don't digest it well, undigested food lying down, getting in touch with my immune system. So if I increase my stomach acid, if I increase my digestive enzyme intake along with my food, I break the food down, it becomes less inflammatory, less immunogenic, less food triggers. It may be positive on the test, but if I break it down, it is not no more so much positive. So enzymes along with the meal can be very, very potent way to help our patient. And eventually this leaky gut, because of these problems, are causing sensitivity, allergy and intolerance. Intolerance is little different than allergy. Intolerance also means the enzyme to break down that food is low. Then also we can use extra digestive enzymes to break it down, and still the patient can do it. Patient may take their food with extra enzymes. So there are people who say, they're on my plan, they say I have to go travel and eat my pizza. What do? I give them gluten digesting enzymes, milk digesting enzymes, so that when they eat the food that I don't want them to eat, they take extra enzymes with the meal, possibly I reduce their problems. Okay. Then of course the motility part, infections leading to poor motility, and we discussed the constipation part, there are multiple reasons of out. Now any gut problem, if you work on these fundamentals, you can do a better job than a GI doctor. Sometimes, it's funny, people come to us with small basic IBS, they've gone to a gastro doctor, this doctor, that doctor, they could not fix that, simple problems. There were a patient who was told you need a liver transplant, okay, because of the autoimmunity. When we did the basic things, liver autoimmunity taken care. There was a patient who says, oh, your liver is going because of the non-alcoholic fatty liver, we have to eventually replace it. We could fix it. Only these fundamentals. So we can fix chronic problems which could have been given up by the system. Okay. The regular doctors, they are looking for a diagnosis. Okay. I can scan, I can do fibroscan, I can say non-alcoholic, all the fancy names. At the end of the day, a diagnosis will have underlying problems. They're more focused on the diagnosis. Diagnosis can give me a name, but diagnosis does not tell me what is wrong. So root cause based approach will give me what is wrong. It's okay to have a diagnosis. It's no big deal. ChatGPT can give me all sort of diagnosis today. I put in symptoms and all differential diagnosis can come. But what do I do with that? I need to find what is the problem. Next. Well, when digestion is poor, your bioavailability of the nutrients is also poor. You don't digest, the food does not become you. So it's not about eating only, it's about digesting also. Some people, they eat so much, they're still very thin because they don't digest well. Okay? And eventually, undigested food, allergenicity, immunity problems, inflammatory triggers, and detoxification burden also. The liver has to clean so much. and liver becomes fatty. And fermentation, microbrewery syndrome, okay, and also the endotoxemia. Okay. I think we still have time, no? Everybody looking so tired. Yeah.
Sir, one general question.
Huh.
Because you are allopathic doctor and you are practicing functional medicine. So now what is your success rate by using only herbs? Because we are not allowed to use other medications. You have to stick only to the...
Well, only 10% to 20% cases which are infections are very tough. You may need allopathic support, but for see, first of all, out of the 100 patients who would come to you, if you do only naturopathy, 80% you can fix anyway. Then you're left with 20%. Out of those 20%, if you use herbs, you can, out of the 80% you can still fix without allopathy. That means almost 90% you can fix. I don't have a doubt with that. So questions so far. I mean, we have discussed a lengthy topic. We may have few slides left, but questions I want to, let's get more practical. We have, let's say, 40 minutes now. Let's get some practical. You say, you can tell me a scenario of your patient and let us discuss how do we approach that. Then we'll finish our slides also.
So I think currently we see majority, I would say about 20 to 30% of the patients we treat are all upper immune disorders. So in that we almost follow the gut health protocol. But I think it is a high time for us to deep dive and be very, I would call it as more precision in our approach.
Right, sir.
So how do you bring that precision post this
Done, sir.
is an exercise for the team
Done, sir.
to work on it and probably come back to probably on this next visit, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we deliberate on the gut health and we see how it is. Now currently we have white label prebiotic and probiotic, two probiotics. Two probiotics which we have. Now that's where I said, which the microbial family which we need to see. We will share those details with you.
Right, done, sir.
Just review that
Done, sir.
two products, and then we can help about how we can bring it.
Done, sir. Done, sir.
Now again, challenge is not criticizing, but each individual approach is different. Each doctor has their own way of thinking it and approaching it. So how do you bring a uniform consistency in our
Right.
thought process?
Right.
So we know that there is a certain amount of roadmap or a certain amount of checklist we use it for ourselves to begin with in first couple of months till we reach to a certain amount.
So one thing, sir, we can do, maybe if all of the doctors can present their cases and I can evaluate what is missing or what we should have done also. Let's say let's pick up the difficult cases which are not getting solved. See, what is solved, there is no learning for us. You choose a difficult case where you find yourself stuck. You tell me what you have done, then I'll tell you what we would have also done more and add layers to it and in the right sequence. And then you implement that in few of your patients. Then you come back to me and say, this worked, this did not work. Then we can discuss why this, why that. Because there's no easy answers for, unfortunately. We have to keep juggling with it. Okay?
So I think currently our approach is very superficial. It is working. I don't say it is not working. But I think, are we really doing the justice?
Right, sir.
So I think how do we take that journey from where we are to
Done, sir. Done, sir. So
I think it's good. I think next 1 month, whatever the available conditions which we have, probably we can discuss. We can get online.
Yeah.
We can just pick up as whichever the time slots if you see.
Right.
You can pick up a couple of cases.
Right.
We have an eczema.
Yes.
1 or 2 cases.
So first I want to give them the theory. For example, today we discussed in gut health, possibilities of different situations of the gut health. Tomorrow we'll look at the autoimmunity part, what are the possibilities of the autoimmunity. Then we look at thyroid, when we look at diabetes from a pathophysiology standpoint of view. So that as, let's say somebody is on diabetic drugs, we need to choose the right drugs for the right patient. But diabetologists typically, if somebody's sugar is high, okay, so there's an algorithm they follow. They start metformin, then they start glimepiride, then start gliptins, then they start boglibos, then they start to reduce from the kidneys, then they start insulin. Okay. Now this is a very algorithm based approach. If this is working fine, doesn't work, I add another one, which is a big problem to a patient today. But when they come to us, we need to know what kind of diabetes this is and what is the right choice of drug for this patient and with the right lifestyle and the supplement whatever else we want to do. If we don't fix this part, we don't understand this part, that kind of drugs they are being given, why they have been given, why they are wrong, then the other part of the treatment may not work for us. So what the doctor is saying also we need to know, understand very deeply, so that we can take a better call than this endocrinologist guy. Then our treatment will succeed. Else, see what happens, let's say somebody is on glimepiride. Glimepiride will increase insulin. The patient is already having a resistance of insulin. If resistance of insulin is there, I need to improve the mitochondria. I don't have to increase the insulin. But if I don't tell the patient, your problem is mitochondria, not this insulin, poor guy will getting in a loop. They will never come out of it. So first level we have to understand the problem better. Then little by little we build on the mechanics of it, how to approach from FM standpoint, which is similar to what you're doing, but we can have more layers to it for our going more personalized, more deeper into it. Okay. So now so far, let's say somebody has a tough IBS case. Now if you can just narrate that case, what did you do and still it did not work, or any other case, if we can then try to debunk that case. I'm sure we all has tough cases, okay. I always scratch my head. Any case, any problem, let us try to, if you give me an example, we can spend some time understanding the case and then how we would have approached that. Any tough case? Huh?
Sorry, 9 years also.
Huh.
Last year we got a patient from Rajasthan.
Huh.
He's around 36 years.
Huh.
So he's already whatever the gluten is there, the milk products, dairy, and everything is avoided. It's pure vegetarian.
Huh.
And also almost similarly whatever the diet we are giving, like a grain free, he was following, but with little amount of grain.
Huh.
Although he is already taking so much of probiotics, the diet is also very clean. So, but still he is having not like occasionally they have the frequency.
Right.
So, for 1 month he'll be okay, the next month and 2 months he'll be continuously having the symptom. But when he was here, he was completely fine. Like I can tell only 30% you have seen the improvement. Like sometimes you have stomach pain and other things. So, but again once you go back, he's getting the symptoms back again. And again this year also I think in the next month he's coming back again.
Coming.
No, the same is minus it's Mumbai. She is 43 years and she has IBS here. Two times she came here and got treated. Here she is fine, sir. And increased weight also after that. After going on still college also, it's again triggered that
Right.
cases.
Now, when they're here, they're under very, very controlled environment. Now, treatment also should mean when they're back, possibly they're still better. Now, in the pristine conditions, they're better, which is good job done. But when they go back to bad environment, okay.
1 month they followed, sir. 1 month they followed and increased to 1.5 kg. But after some time, she became normal food and it came back again.
See, one is the food which is triggering the problem. If they bring back till the problem is sorted, it will bring back. Another possibility, let's say somebody is in Mumbai. Mumbai has lot of fungal overgrowth on the walls because the lot of rain is happening. If fungus is there in their home walls, they will inhale mycotoxins. Okay, and these mycotoxins will inflame the immune system, and the symptoms can persist. Or in your case, possibly some infection may still be persisting, which is a hard protozoa is some infection.
He has done the gut microbiome test, everything. In this place he has done. It is not showing much any difference in that.
So now I tell you, Microbiome as a solution, what are we doing? We are changing the food, we are putting probiotics. But what we learned today is the infection part. Until I remove that infection, I cannot improve the microbiome diversity. Most of the probiotics, oral probiotics, doesn't matter which quality they are, they go in, they do the job, they're out. They don't sustain in the gut. Probiotics will not improve the diversity. They will do immunogenic effect. The microbial walls and all that, they will have better anti-inflammatory effect. They go in, they do the job, they're out, dead. They're already dead. Many of them, this is already dead because they're lying in the 40 degrees shelf. Okay, they're not live probiotics, most of them. Okay, so only way to improve the microbiome diversity, fiber from the food or supplementation, plus cleaning the infection. Then only there is a space for the healthy ones to grow. So, lot of the persistent, we are working with the gynec in Mumbai. It's been almost 1 year we have been working with her. She had a lot of problems, lot of acidity, gastritis, so many problems she had. But still one problem she is pending with, every time she eats spinach, she has a problem. So, gut goes mess. Okay. Now, we have done 2-time microbiome, and both times we have seen protozoa and resistant protozoa. Initially we done 1 round, 1 month of anti-parasitics we have done. 1 month. Albendazole, mebendazole, febendazole, tinidazole, praziquantel, all lot. Okay. It has improved but still persisting. Okay. Sometimes something is still missing. There is the thing we have to keep looking. As a investigator of the problem, if a person is persisting with the problem, the causative may still be persistent. It is something we have to keep persistently keep looking at it. Patient is not getting better, why it is not happening? Next week. Well, I think this is also, we understand that lot of the kids with asthma today, the microbiome is bad. Now, asthma is there is a constriction to the airways, and airway constriction is because of the histamine, and histamine is because the infections are there. Infections, especially fungal infections, are there. Infection making toxin, making histamine trigger, making asthma. The lung doctor will say you have to learn to live with asthma, and they say take an inhaler, and all the actors will come into play, and they all the pseudoscience they keep propagating. They are trying to tell us that we have to learn to live with asthma. For a child, 6-year-old child, such a painful thing. You reduce their sugars, you clean their infections, you make the microbiome better, the histamine gets better, bronchoconstriction gets better, asthma gets better, as simple as that. Okay. So, lot of kids born C-section, frequent antibiotics, if that is a history, you think about microbiome is a problem, and this is where you want to work. Next. Right. So, typically your microbiome is also building your immune tolerance. Okay. Now, when your microbiome is better, your T-reg cells are better off, which is balancing the immune system, and your TNF alpha and interleukins will also get better. The infections triggering this cascade leading to autoimmune problems, inflammatory problems. When you improve the microbiome, this gets better, this gets less. So this may be very, very fancy, very, very fancy big names, but ultimately this is the story. So you have to do a pathogen suppression. This is very key. Next. So Akkermansia muciniphila is one of the key species in the gut, okay, and this also helps to build the mucin lining. If the lining is better, the junctions are more tight, there is more protection from the toxins to enter into the bloodstream. So this is one of the key species the microbiome has, which we need to supplement, or we can use in the form of enema also. So we can use enemas as a probiotic enemas, which can be very, very powerful for our patients. After colon hydrotherapy, we can use some probiotic enemas.
Anybody who supplies these animals?
We can get it, sir. We can get it. So now, second very, very important is Bifido species. Okay. So when we are trying to do probiotics, the preference, okay, lacto is the last preference. If you have to use species of probiotics, lacto is the last preference. Akkermansia priority, Bifido is another priority. And we can increase Akkermansia with the polyphenols, pomegranate, inulin, fasting, we can improve that. Then Bifido is very important, they produce acetate, lactate, feed butyrate producers, thereby regulate IgA and Treg cells. Anybody with IgA nephropathy, this can be very, very potent. Then comes your lactobacilli. This is important to understand. Lot of the probiotics will have only lactobacillus, and this you may see reactions to that also. So if a patient you feel is already asthmatic, histamine load is already heavy, their anxiety is heavy, you want to use Bifido or Akkermansia or blend, you don't want to keep the lactobacillus as the first choice. Are we next? Another one which is commercially available is a Clostridium butyricum, very, very potent. It's a key species of the microbiome, very, very key species of the microbiome, and this produces butyrate. And butyrate, short chain fatty acids, important for both large and small intestines, and enhances barrier proteins and suppresses pathogenic Clostridia infection. Okay. So anybody with persistent IBS symptoms, persistent inflammatory markers, even though we have done all the circus, probably Clostridia is one of the problem, and you want to bring in Clostridium butyricum as a probiotic. Bifilec HP is the brand name which is available on 1 mg. Bifilec HP. So when you look at your microbiome report, based on the symptoms, based on the report, then we can decide which probiotic to be done.
Right now, after colon hydrotherapy, we are giving lactobacillus species. Is it okay to give that or anything?
Better to give Clostridium butyricum, Akkermansia, Saccharomyces, Bifido.
So only after that we are giving for everyone.
But you choosing a probiotic or choosing curd as a?
No, but you will be given immediately. But after the lactobacillus,
I would suggest we choose Clostridium, Saccharomyces, and Bifido. Akkermansia. Lacto species can be reactionary. You may see increased histamine load in some cases. Breathlessness may develop, anxiety may develop, sleeplessness may develop. I'm talking about the difficult patients. 80% of this is nothing, any probiotic is okay. I'm saying that 20% which are tough cases, then you have to be careful. We next. Now, kidney stones. People who develop frequent kidney stones, people who have frequent urinary irritation, urinary bladder irritation. What is the play? Fungal infection making more oxalates, and oxalates coming together making a stone and leading to kidney stone, or fungal infection making oxalate oxalate is a crystalline particle which punctures the urinary bladder. So anybody with the frequent urinary problems, most likely oxalate is a problem. And oxalate is coming because fungal infection is more and less of the oxalobacter probiotic. So anybody with kidney stones, urinary problems, oxalobacter is a choice of probiotic you want to use. Typically, see, probiotic you can do from 5 billion to 100 billion, either single strain or multi-strain. Up to 100 billion is easy peasy. So, prevents oxalate accumulation, and lot of people with fungal load and high oxalate, the mitochondria is also poor. They become very fatigued. So, just reducing the oxalate, you can improve their energies also. So, this is something you want to put it on to. See, oxalobacter, your Clostridia butyricum, Akkermansia and Saccharomyces, these are key species of the microbiome. So, if we had to do anemia, I would choose these species. Next. Okay. So, dysbiosis, again going back to the basics, you have more E. coli, you have more Klebsiella, you have more Proteus, making more LPS, lipopolysaccharides, causing systemic inflammation, triggering IBD, metabolic syndrome, fatty acid, okay, and lot of time fatty acid, fatty liver will happen after antibiotics. Antibiotics will cause the growth of the fungal bacteria or less of the healthy bacteria, leading to more endotoxins going to the liver, and liver, poor guy, inflames. So, if you have to fix fatty liver, you fix non-alcoholic fatty liver, you want to look at the dysbiosis. Infection is one of the key player in lot of the problems. Okay. Candida overgrowth can cause fermentation, gas, bloating, brain fog. It can cause more acetaldehyde also. That can lead to mitochondrial stress, and diabetes can happen, brain fog can happen, and this is triggered by antibiotics, PPIs, steroids. So, in the majority of the dysbiosis, fungal infection is one key finding you will have, and you want to work on that. Next. Another one, of course, the very tough problems, something called pseudomonas, they make something called biofilms. So, you know, 80% cases, like you do the basic things are good, you do anything, this patient will get better. You reduce the inflammatory food, you reduce the toxins from the body, you put in the nutrients, the patient will, 80% your basics you do, the patient will. But 20% is where we juggle. And one of the thing is, the infection will persist because there is a biofilm. Infection is surrounded by a biofilm. Then you do any amount of herbals, this and that, it doesn't go. Then we have to first break the biofilms using enzymes, digestive enzymes, proteolytic enzymes, taken on empty stomach. One enzyme is to digest the food. You do it with food. When you take enzymes, especially protein digesting enzymes on an empty stomach, they will break the biofilms. So, anybody with the recurrent symptoms of the problem, like you said IBS, it happens, gets better, then come, when you are restricted thing, they feeling better, probably biofilms are present in their microbiome and you want to break them off. Next. Well, I think, solutioning part, okay. You work on the diet, work on the lifestyle, work on the mindset, remove the pathogens, replace the enzymes, very important. Then you work on the damaged mucosa, then you start with the probiotics. Then once this circus is done, then you want to reintroduce the food. Once the basics is set, and this basic initial 5 steps itself may take few months, depends on the patient. Some may happen in a month, some may take a year also. Okay, so layer by layer you want to do it. Do we next? Well, we have discussed this one. Next. 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 Okay. Well, you can also use aloe vera, slippery elm, marshmallow to improve the mucosal lining, along with sodium butyrate, glutamine, zinc carnosine, and collagen peptides. Okay. This is to stabilize the leaky gut, seal the leaky gut. Anybody with a chronic problem, this can be very, very useful. And of course, the enzymes are very useful. See, it's like if my digestive system is under stress, it will not heal. Either I put them into rest, no food, only water or juices, or I can bring in some extra enzymes to help my food digest. I can disengage my digestive enzyme a little bit. Disengagement of the digestive enzyme will lead to healing, else healing will never happen. You put in the nutrients, what it needs, enzymes what it needs, and you give the cementing material. This is a cementing material for the leaky gut. Next. 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 We have discussed all of that. Next.
How far these probiotic kombuchas, cafe, satay, kimchi will contribute in our dietary supplements?
Sir, anybody with an autoimmune problem, we want to be careful with the fermented foods. Basic problems, let's say little bit of indigestion, GERD, little bit of a bloating, then fermented foods are good to go. But when chronic problems like autoimmunity or very long standing problems are there, we first want to clean the microbiome and use specific strains of the probiotics to fight those infections. Initially I was working with a psoriasis case. Okay, I was feeding him this kefir, water-based kefir. Now, when I started treatment, the patient psoriasis was getting better. Then he started taking kefir. Psoriasis came back. Now, usually, when you brew things, a lot of lactose species will come. And when you take them, histamine load will increase. Histamine load will increase the skin irritation. So, fermented foods we have to be careful initially. Once the cleanup has happened, then you bring them. Initial stages they may backfire. But if a simple problem is there, no problem. That's okay. Case to case. Next. Well, I think this is all discussed. Next week. So, a little bit of a clinical understanding. So, looking at the case. Okay. So, gas after few bites of the meal. It could be SIBO and it could be gastroparesis. The motility is slow. Gas after fruits, fructose malabsorption. Gas plus constipation, methane SIBO. Gas which is very, very foul, hydrogen sulfide SIBO. Gas plus oily stool, pancreatic insufficiency. Okay. Then probably you can do pancreatic enzymes, we can do, if any drug is required to reduce the motility, pain, domperidone, butyrate. Now this loose syrup is also very interesting. This is a typical, we use it for laxative. This is cellulose. It can improve the bifidobacterium. It's a fiber which can improve the bifidobacterium. So you can use it liberally to improve the bifidobacteria as a prebiotic. Rifaximin can be useful, but oregano, garlic, castor oil, neem, they can be antimicrobial. Fennel, peppermint, they will all calm the system down. They can work as an antihistamine. To the nervous system will feel more calmer. Next. Now, gas immediately after eating, it could also be low stomach acid and enzyme deficiency. Okay, so we can try apple cider vinegar or things like that. Now, gas 30 to 90 minutes after meal, SIBO. If immediately stomach acid is a problem, but after some time it could be a SIBO. Okay, car fermentation in the small intestine. Next. Well, you will have the PPT, you can go through it and make your own understanding out of it. Okay, that we have looked at it. Next. Anything else? I think almost we are done. Well, this is also we have. Okay, next. Gas, burping, reflux, like we discussed, gastroparesis, hypochlorhydria, or vagal dysfunction. Very stressed out person. Okay, so vagus retraining is important. Gas, brain fog, sugar cravings. Candida could be a problem. The candida is asking the person to eat more sugars, and which is producing more alcohol, which is producing more acetaldehyde, which is leading to brain fog and bloating, of course. Then you can use berberine, caprylic acid, Puladi, and the patient will have craving for the sweet and the headache will get better after taking sugar. These people will have craving for sugar and they will have headache. You feed them sugar, headache will get better because it's a fungus infection which is causing the trouble. And it is making toxins when it is not getting a feed. And the patient will have inflammation on the brain. Next. Well, I think questions. So maybe tomorrow we have 4 hours. First 2 hours we can discuss on autoimmunity, and next 2 hours we can discuss on cases.
We have 1 or 2 autoimmune patients in house.
Haan, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
So at least you can meet them.
Yeah.
Just as a, then we can have a discussion.
Done, sir. Done. Yes.
That will make our life easy.
Done, sir. Yes. So now, see, this is all theory to align you. Yes. But ultimately, putting into practice, we have to use cases.
See, if we see each individual implement whatever we have studied, 5 good cases and we see the results, then it is done.
Yes.
We got it. So that's why we are always